Warning! The entertainment program you are about to experience is intended for mature audiences only. By voluntarily viewing any portion of this program, you forfeit your right to complain about any of the content therein. Our goal is to bring the independent wrestling fan our voices and views on the action going on in their own backyard, and to try to have fun along the way. Please don't be complete tools about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Season 4 premiere. The premiere. The premium premiere of Wrestlefudge TV Live. Welcome to the program. I am Paul, joined... I'm in disbelief. Will Senna is back. This is a big moment. Let's give it up. Will, this is... you're not excited. Are you happy to be here? Where the hell you been? What's going on?
I am loving it. Life is fantastic. It's great to be back.
You've been missed on the program, Will. I want you to... we've been inundated since your disappearance. Okay? Inundated with phone calls, texts, emails, tweets, Facebook posts. Where's Will Senna? There's been a hashtag... That's right. Guess who? Where is he? There's been a hashtag movement. Hashtag, where's Will? Come home, Will Senna. And... I'm
home. And it worked. Clearly, social media works.
I'm as shocked as you are, Will, to be honest with you. Welcome back to the program. It's been we've done some calculations here in the Nerve Center, and I can tell you it has been.
I was shocked to hear
364 days since the last time you have appeared in this program. And that file, it was the World of Hurt Wrestling Bret Hart show, which we broadcasted live from the Whitehall Athletic Club. An incredible program. Would you have to agree? But no one's seen it because for whatever reason we lost the footage. And
let's talk about that. How disruptive that was to our careers,
our juices. We lost some clout that day.
That was a tough day. I mean, there was some great interviews. It was probably, and I'm going to say this, the best Wrestlefudge live ever.
Because it was a fantastic show put on by World of Hurt Wrestling, and we were definitely,
I should say, our best coverage of a great show.
I agree with you.
I'll take credit for the show.
You should. First of all, everyone, we're going to talk about where you've been. We'll get to that, but I did want to say we're drinking, as should you. It can even be a lemonade or something completely
Surge, whatever you need. Whatever you need.
Surge, Will. Are you a sponsor? Is that what's going on?
You know, a new bit I guess we're going to do is to follow my travels, I guess. Is that because everybody thinks it's amusing?
Well, everyone's wondering where you've been.
Just a quick teaser because I did have a camera phone while I was out and about, and
is this really happening? You're giving him you're tickling
this
your
is
ass
the photo. I mean, this is the photo that's going to start the journey. This is where it all began.
Wait. So that's you and Bret Hart
that night.
What do you got? B cups, C cups? What's going on?
Okay, well, you know what? I wasn't as felt as I am now. Thank you.
But you answer the question. What's under the hood? What do you got going?
It's a B. It's a
sizable B. All right. Listen,
but the debauchery started as it normally does with Bret Hart. I mean, the man's an insane maniac.
Is that true? He's pretty tame when we met him.
Was crazy. That was his in-ring persona. That was
he was working. He really let his hair down with you. Apparently,
but that's just a little teaser of what's to come. Obviously, it was a crazy trip because it started in black and white.
Oh my God. It did start in black and white. Did it end in color? That's, oh boy!
In a lot of different.
So you and Bret Hart, we're gonna find out more about this. You're just tickling our ass with a feather right now.
I mean, if you must know, it was an interesting evening. Limo ride, hanging out, strippers.
Is that true?
I think. What I remember.
Okay. All right.
And then somehow we got on a plane. It was a private jet. We were able to take off with some of the members of Nirvana. It was fantastic.
Oh my God.
We went to Australia.
Is that where you were going?
Australian Airlines. There's a kangaroo there.
All right. How was that?
It was good. It was good.
But retard alert.
Retard alert.
Okay, so you went to Australia.
It was good. It was good. But, no, I had to get out. I had to get out of the country for a little while. I was very angry that we lost the footage, that we lost the show.
Yeah, but you could have at least said something to me about it. Is my point. You went down under, as
well,
they
when
say.
you binge, you binge.
Okay, you fell off the wagon. I apologize.
Aren't you? I mean, we're talking about. It's almost a year, and I'm back here.
Oh, great to have you, Will. It's exciting. So, I guess we'll see more of that later. Can we talk about what's on the show tonight, or is this going to all be about you? Well, on the program tonight, I'm very, very excited about this. Coming up at, I believe, the 8 o'clock hour, or around that time, as close as we can get, we will have the most frequent guest in the history of this program, just edging out a tie between Bobby Ocean and Franz Roddy. Ladies and gentlemen, the former commissioner of World of Hurt Wrestling, Michael Anthony, going to be on the program tonight. Will Senna, friend of the Fudge, longtime friend of the Fudge, and one of my favorite people.
Great interview every time.
Well, I have a lot of questions to ask him. First of all,
what's it like to be retired?
He's been retired for quite a while, but now he's totally away from the wrestling business. Yeah, exactly. I want to see
technicality on that one.
I want to know. I got to be honest with you. I want to know why. Okay, I want to know why. I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to ask the question, the hard question tonight. I want to know why he left World of Hurt. Seemed like a great up-and-coming company, doing a lot of things well, Will, and I want to know why he left that company.
Well said, Paul.
Asking the hard questions. Also, tonight on our program, one of the meanest, one of the scariest.
Nasty.
One of the nastiest, but also...
I'm going to call him criminal.
Also, good-natured guys in the wrestling business, or formerly in the wrestling business. We mentioned Michael Anthony, retired. We're going to have him on our program tonight. A little bit of a theme here. PIERRE VACHON, out with an injury. I want to know the details of that injury. I want to know where and when it happened. Who did it? Who did that? Who could take down the beast, Will? And I think that's something we have to have that answer tonight on this very program. Would you agree?
Amen.
I mean, you want to know what's going on with PIERRE.
I can't wait to talk to this guy. He's always entertaining. I hear there's some comedy things flipping around as well. So not only is this guy one of the meanest, nastiest men in New England.
We need to go cover one of his stand-up things.
I agree.
But I want to be in the very far back, possibly in blackface.
Like you're very standoffish with him.
I don't think so. I think I've always been very cordial. He's never liked me.
That one day.
Well, that was a horrible day. Also on the program tonight, another guy we've had altercations with in the past, but a good friend of the Fudge right now, and long into the future.
Let's be honest. We have to fight with everybody before we fall in love.
That's true.
Come on.
Yeah, it's always very tempestuous. World of Hurt star. No secret about it. Promoter Shane Alden, hot off the heels of an appearance on WWE television.
Wow.
I want to hear what that was like. That's not
I think I got a slide for that.
He's been let's take a look at one of his appearances. He's appeared several times, but he recently appeared in the ring in a match, his first match in WWE, and we'll talk about
over there on the right in the stripes.
Oh, is that
sometimes criminal.
He is a rosebud in that shot. And also, there you go. You see them in action, teaming with his brother. I want to know what that experience was like. Obviously, he's appeared with them before. He's worked with them before. But how was this different? How exciting is it? Is it going to lead to anything else in the future? I'm really excited to talk to him about that. But in addition, what's coming on the horizon for World of Hurt Wrestling? We will ask Shane Alden tonight. Get some answers. I want an update on Swinger Sadusky. I demand answers and will tonight.
Wow, this
is
a new Paul.
Listen, I had to do Wrestlefudge TV Light without you in March. It was a debacle.
I'm sorry.
It was a total debacle.
I'm sorry.
I did it by myself, okay, in my 2-car garage. All right? And for half the show, the engine was running. That's all I'm saying.
Clear. I was on a private jet.
I understand.
I was on a private jet.
Well, great. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Not Mexico. I apologize. You went down under. Also on the program tonight, calling in around 9:45. I am actually excited to talk with FOXX VINYER.
Good news, everyone.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. FOXX VINYER on the rise. He's been very active in New England. Probably more active. Here's the thing. He has a unique gimmick these days. He's switched up a little bit of how he operates in the ring. Clearly, he's bulked up a little bit. What are your thoughts? You're pretty high on FOXX VINYER today.
Say this.
Pre-production meeting, this guy was gushing.
We got to say
his socks are wet.
Are you done now?
Are you?
If we had the Fudgies last year, which we didn't, but if we did,
we
this
didn't
guy
do the
would have
Fudgies.
been in one of the turnaround categories of the year because of where he started, where we started to watch him and began to follow Fox. And then where he is now, which we'll talk about it later, is a different place. Way different place. He's doing it.
I'm proud of him. Okay? Looking forward to that conversation. Also tonight, for the first time in, well, over a year, we will run the fucking gauntlet. Hey-oh! We don't have a ton of shows to talk about, but the shows we have to talk about are pretty exciting in a lot of different ways. But first, Will, I don't know, take me back to Australia, buddy. Take me back. Take me back and tell me.
Guess who?
What the story is. Tell me where did we go from here? I got to know.
Well, I mean, again, you were talking about how in that original picture with Bret Hart, I had a little extra weight on. Just a little. I mean, talking about my breast size. It's very rude with all these people listening. But
I like turtles.
You know, so we got to Australia.
Okay.
I laid up for a little while. I relaxed. Then I realized, you know what, I need to go get in shape. Okay. Unfortunately.
Okay, that seems reasonable.
I needed to go somewhere hot where I could work out, lose weight, and hopefully not get in any trouble.
Okay.
Fortunately, I was in Vietnam and I got in a little bit of trouble. Now, I can explain this. It was an awkward moment with the Prime Minister's daughter, and I got out of it.
Mm-hmm. You always do. You always seem to.
I did. I got out of it.
You always seem to.
It took a lot of favors, and it's only because I know some presidents. They were able to negotiate me out of Vietnam, where I was going to be held in a labor camp, and you know me in labor. It does not. I can't.
Right.
I can't.
Right. Your wife went into labor, and you were gone.
Some previous activity I did, in the past,
this is ridiculous.
Into the good graces.
You're trying to tell me you met with
former presidents.
That's the Oval Office.
I am right there, next to GW.
Which one's you? Okay.
And Herbert Walker. They're both there.
Wow.
That's right.
Okay.
And notice I stayed a little bit further away from Bill. And Jimmy Carter was like, why is this guy here?
I heard he was shit. Was he shit-faced the entire time?
He was a little tipsy, I think, on moonshine, but he just wouldn't even get into the camera with us. Look at him. He's just standing off in his side.
You have a reputation, Will.
That's ridiculous.
You have a reputation.
It really is. So, anyway, I mean, it was tough. I got out of it. I got back into the country.
You have a silver tongue. Well, I do have to say.
It wasn't without doing a lot of PR. At one point, I had to do this Congressional Day at the foreign place.
You were a dignitary?
I don't even know
at the foreign place?
It was over.
Hold on a second. Which one's you? You're the guy in the middle.
In the middle.
Yeah.
No, I mean, in all honesty, they did give me this great leather coat.
You still have that coat?
Leather coat. I mean, it's phenomenal. I do. I kept it as a souvenir.
Oh my God, it looks snug on you.
I got it back in the country, but
wow,
there was an incident over there.
This is ridiculous. Go ahead. All right, go ahead. I'm worried now. I'm worried about it. What do you mean, an international incident? I heard about something about this, I think.
I'm very, I'm a Vero man.
By the way, the 68 Caroline bar is making these very strong tonight. Continue.
Thank you. And, one thing led to another. I had a child. There was a love child over there. And I had to give it up to adoption to a man who was super nice. I knew the baby was going to have a good home. Everything's fine.
All right. So, have you had any communication with this child?
No, I'm not allowed.
Okay. I think that's a fair question, though.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
But one thing I had to do was a favor to the presidents.
Yep.
These guys they're ball breakers. These old presidents. They got nothing better to do.
Yep.
They made me take part in a Civil War reenactment. It was very hot. Look at the guys around me. They look fucking miserable. I had fun.
Oh my Lord!
I had a fantastic time, actually. Besides the heat, it was kind of fun.
Oh my God, my head hurts. Oh, that's too funny. All right, so Civil War reenactment. No, this is great. This is great.
Asked. And these are only the pictures I was able to recover from my phone.
Which side did you fight on?
I wish I had my laptop.
Did you fight for the North or the South?
We were all gray.
Huh?
It's black and white. Didn't you see?
I must not have looked hard enough. Throw that back up there. I apologize. I must not have looked hard enough. Yep. You guys look very stoned. I cannot say that.
Sitting next to me with the hat on.
Yeah.
He was drunk the whole time.
It's Jimmy Carter.
Fucking drunk the whole time.
Jimmy Carter Jr. Okay, wow.
And it all started in black and white.
Wow, with Bret Hart. Well, I'm curious where you lost track of Bret. Are we going to hear that at some point?
We can't really talk about that. He may still be in.
Can we hear that in maybe a future episode?
Maybe. Maybe we can go through there.
Will, how do we want to handle this? Do we want to take a break before we have Michael Anthony call in? I think. I think that's reasonable. I need to take a break from that segment, and I think everyone would agree. I think that's necessary. We do have a huge program. In just a few short minutes, we will speak with Michael Anthony, local wrestling luminary. The guy knows his shit. I'm going to talk to him about that shit.
Maybe when we come back, we'll talk about this.
Oh, my God. All right, who edited that? Who's going to claim that? Is anyone going to claim that? All right, we'll be back in a few moments. Do not touch a dial that doesn't actually exist anyway. We're watching WrestlefudgeTV TV live on YouTube. Don't go away. folks, we are back. Welcome back to WrestlefudgeTV TV Live Season 4 premiere. It's already been interesting. Oh. Well,
You asked. You keep saying that I'm touting myself.
in just a few short minutes, we will be speaking live with Michael Anthony, former World of Hurt Wrestling Commissioner, former active wrestler in our area, whose insight we always appreciate. Tonight, he breaks the record for the most frequent caller in WrestlefudgeTV TV Live history.
Who?
I just told you, he's going to be surpassing Bobby Ocean and Franz Roddy, who were tied.
Whoa,
folks.
That's a hell of a three-way match right there.
Hey, listen, that's good company. That's good company.
That's a main event anywhere.
I bring up Michael Anthony briefly to segue into a man that I know he also respects, who has also stepped away from wrestling and from organized photography of sports for free, basically. Who's at the door? I'm referring, of course, to Gary Bram, who has been. That is not a flattering picture, Will.
He'll love it. He's gonna love that.
Okay, all right, but big fans of Gary Bram.
Crazy man.
Gary is responsible for taking photos of wrestling events around the capital region for many, many years, and he's been a fixture in the local wrestling scene.
A lot of people that look on social media, Facebook,
they see Gary's work,
and they don't even realize it.
Right. He is absolutely one of the he was and will continue to be in many people's mind, an unsung hero in this area. As far as
he's actually going to come on the show, right?
I spoke to him.
He's got to have a unique window into everything that's gone on for the last 15 years.
10 years, yeah. I'll tell you, he's been very active. He's actually started his own blog, which unfortunately I'm not prepared. We will have the link to his blog on our page very soon. Where I wasn't prepared. We will have that on his blog. He's talked a lot about his experiences, what he likes about some local promotions, what he dislikes about them, his favorite wrestlers, his favorite moments, all those important things. And I'm excited to actually eventually speak with him. I want to know what his favorite pictures are that he's taken. And I want to know why now's the time for him to step away. I'll tell you, thankless job. I know, we're all sad he's gone. It was a thankless job for him, but I know we always appreciated him. And if
we count on both hands the promotions he's covered, can we try that?
I wouldn't be able to on one hand or two hands.
Can social media people chime in with us and just name them off?
Right. Well, clearly we know. Yeah, we know. My whole point is, obviously people are going to try and fill the void, but he provided a service, wasn't looking for attention. Just wanted to do his job, and I've always respected that, Will, and I think you would agree. I think if anybody deserves a moment of love, it's going to be Gary Bram. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for stopping that. But I think if anybody deserves a moment of accolades, it would absolutely have to be Mr. Gary Bram, and I think, Will, we owe it to him. Thank you, Gary. We look forward to having Gary on our program very soon. I'm excited about that. In the meantime, we'll set up. Let's take a moment, okay? We're going to reach out now to... We're going to try and get Michael Anthony on the phone here. Oh, it's ringing. Wasn't that exciting? Ooh, wouldn't this be embarrassing? Hey now.
Hello.
What's going on, sir?
Oh.
Hey-o. How you doing?
Oh, Will, what an honor it is to be the most frequent caller to Wrestlefudge TV Live.
Well, it's been an honor for us, Michael. Welcome back to the program. It's certainly an historic day for our show, and we couldn't be happier to have you at the top of the list. And like I said moments before we reached out to you, you are in good company. You are in the company of Bobby Ocean, of the mighty one himself, Franz Roddy. How does it feel? How does it feel to? Who cares? Let's be serious.
It's beyond words at this point. But if I could elaborate on the special day at hand,
please.
Today marks 260 days since we listened to the funeral of 787 in UW East live.
That's very true.
Wrestlefudge TV Light. Mm-hmm. And if we take a look at the Mayan calendar, the Zolkin, or divine calendar, if you will, we'll see that it has 260 days, consisting of 20 periods, 13 days long. And Paul, if we take the 1 from the 13 and add it to the 3 in the 13, we have 4. And ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the 4th season.
Wow!
Oh my God!
Full circle.
I think not.
Wow. Wow. You just brought that. My head just exploded.
What the hell just happened?
You just brought everything full circle. I don't even know.
Google that for 3 hours and prepare for about 4 hours. That was all off the cuff.
That's what I've always appreciated out of one of the many things I always appreciate about Michael Anthony. He takes the shit seriously no matter what it is, and for that we applaud you. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Yeah, I did a little bit of preparation.
I appreciate that.
I hit me with the hard questions. Let's go. I'm ready to get interviewed.
Well, first of all, how have you been keeping busy since you have effectively stepped away and removed yourself entirely from the independent wrestling scene in this area, a scene which you have been really back and involved with? I want to say, did you come back 2010? 2009?
2010? Yes, that sounds about right.
2009, 2010. So about 5 years, and now taking a step away. How have you been keeping yourself busy? What have you been up to?
A lot of moisturizer, a lot of tissues, and a lot of good thoughts, my friend.
Wow. That's a great answer.
But the serious answer would be, I thought I was stepping away completely from wrestling, but something's come up in my life that's slowly pulling me back in.
Okay.
I haven't been answering as many emails. I haven't been watching people's promos. I haven't been discussing wrestling angles. So that part of my life has opened up immensely. And with that free time, I'm just enjoying my free time right now.
There you go.
Good for you.
Good for you.
I deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. You absolutely earned it. Do you think you're... First of all, before we brought you on the air, we talked about Gary Bram, who is one of the guys that we respect in the local independent wrestling community, who has also stepped away from the independent wrestling scene. I know that you have also, I think you have a lot of respect for Gary as well. What are your thoughts on Gary stepping away, and what do you think that means? Obviously, there's always going to be somebody to step in and do the part, but what do you think that means for local wrestling?
Paul, I think you, besides being a well-known racist, you need to learn how to pronounce Gary Braham's last name. It's Braham, my friend. And I'll go right by that right now, and I'll look at the fact that every time I was on the mic at intermission at a World of Hurt Wrestling show, I would continuously put over Gary as the best photographer in World of Hurt Wrestling, the best photographer in wrestling in this area. And like you guys had already touched on, he did it without plugging a website, without watermarking his pictures, without self-promotion. He was just there to be a part of the show and to enjoy the atmosphere. And something happened along the way, and I don't know exactly what it was, that soured him to the situation he was in. I think it could have been fixed very easily if somebody's arms weren't too short and their pockets too deep, and they just, compensated the man for the quality work he was doing. I think he'd still be doing it.
Fair. I guess that's fair enough. That's what we know. I mean, first of all, I'd like to, if I could go back, I'd like to refute your earlier statement about my my alleged racism. I am not a well-known racist. Nobody has any idea. Now,
I have it on good authority from a Jamar Magic Justice, formerly known as Jamar Magic Justice, that you are in fact a racist, and we don't need to talk about that any further.
If anybody, listen, he's an authority. That man's an authority. I miss him.
He could be a reverend.
And he could be. Let's point out, that is a throwback to one of the earliest episodes of Wrestlefudge's history, and for that, so I also applaud you.
That's a true fan.
Yeah, that is.
Unfortunately,
also not a racist.
Paul.
No, come on.
Screaming inside right now. So I can go on full record, and I can be very clear here. I know that Paul hates everybody equally.
Now, you okay? Listen. So it's Gary Braham.
Go ahead.
I am an asshole.
Paul's taking notes like he ever is not going to remember that.
I just wrote down the phonetics pronunciation.
You terrorized him to know that he will never get that.
I'm never going to get it wrong. Now let me ask you. You talk about how it could have been fixed with Gary, and it sounds like you have perhaps an intimate knowledge of why he's gone. Do you think we're ever going to see Gary back in the area? Is that something that you think is important? Or, I mean, obviously, I agree with you. Intermission, I would always have a conversation with Gary. Gary was a very sharp guy, understood wrestling or had a real appreciation for. Have you read his blog posts, Mike?
I have. I've read every one that he put up, and I thoroughly enjoy reading everything that he has to say about wrestling in this area, and even some of his other thoughts, just in general. I kind of am on the same wavelength with the guy, and I've always respected him, and I always will. And I don't know one person in the business or outside the business that could say a bad thing about him. So
I agree.
Very entertaining on Facebook.
Yeah, we hope to have him on our program very soon, and we'll pass along your accolades. Now, let's talk about your career. Before we get into why you walked away and what kind of led to you walking away, I wanted to ask you, I ask anybody who stepped away fully this question, how bad do you miss it, Mike? How bad do you miss it?
That's a hard question. Because honestly, do I miss it? Yes. Did I miss just going to this last show with Screech? Absolutely.
Okay, now
I miss the atmosphere. I don't miss. Man, I don't want to be too candid, honestly. You know what? I don't want to burn any bridges at this point, and I don't want to say anything bad about anybody in particular.
Smart move.
Let's just say that these last few shows, my head wasn't in the right spot. I wasn't thinking so much about the show as I was about myself and my friends. And maybe things soured me, the last show that kind of put the last nail in the coffin. So maybe I was on the fence at this last show before I totally stepped away. And some things went down that made me decide that was it, and I was walking away.
All right, well, without you, I don't want to put you in a corner where you feel like you have to respond, but let me ask you, you mentioned there are some things that maybe the Gary situation could have been fixed in regards to his involvement with local wrestling, and I don't necessarily know what you mean by that, but do you think your situation can be fixed? Is there a resolution?
At this point,
will you be back?
In the great words of one of the greatest Canadians of all time, Justin Bieber, and Jaden Smith, I will never say never.
Wow.
Man, I just did that.
Yeah.
I just did that.
That happened.
I'm going to tell you this. What I think boils down to with Gary is he wanted to spend time with his family, and he would have liked to have been compensated for his work, just like anybody else in this business.
Sure.
I was compensated more than adequately. I've never had a problem with the pay. I've never had a problem with my position in World of Hurt Wrestling. I've never had my problem, a problem, that is, with any position in any wrestling company that I've ever been in. The fact of the matter is, I, too, thought I needed some time to enjoy with myself, with my family, things that I haven't done in years. I'm now finally getting to around the house. I mean, it freed up a lot of time. You got to understand that.
I can imagine.
Well, I have a lot of questions, if I may. If I can jump in here for a second. There's a wonderful site that I follow, a lot of people follow, frankly.
It's been a little dormant lately.
It's been a little dormant lately, but back a while ago, you said you're done with Facebook, you're done with Wrestle Art.
That was about a year ago.
Was shocking to me. When I disappeared with the Bret Hart incident, is that when you lost your love for Wrestle Art?
There is a direct correlation between Will Senna walking away and disappearing and my leaving Wrestle Art. Yes, that's no, that had nothing to do with it at all. What I will say is,
yes.
I'm looking at a picture of that beautiful Justin Bieber right now.
Well, Will's in the left-hand corner, just so you know.
That was a picture we'll talk about at some point, but
great. Look forward to that.
Wrestle Art is alive and well right now. What I'm doing is I'm running an exclusive wrestling buddy that I'm going to produce once a month, and I'm going to put it on eBay, and it's opened up to worldwide shipping. So now everybody that has a chance to bid on a unique item, it's going to be a true one-of-a-kind. I'll never make it again. I'm making it very exclusive for the buyer. The art is getting a lot better with time, just like anything else in this world of practice. The more practice I get, the better the art gets.
And this month it's Bret Hart, right?
I did.
Well, hold on, before you move on from that, this month's Wrestle Buddy is Bret Hart, correct?
Bret Hart is ending tomorrow morning.
Wow!
they're ordering now.
Get in there.
Look at that thing. Look at that beautiful Wrestle Buddy.
Is the link for that eBay auction available on WrestleArt.com right now?
Yeah, it's pinned to the top. I think it's at $100 right now, which is typically where I like them to be. I was selling them for $120 outright when I was going full force. So
It's a good deal.
I'm very happy with the success of it this time around, and I think the art and the quality is there, and I think it's going to continue to grow. So,
excellent. We're glad to hear that. Now, let's talk a little bit about the local wrestling scene. You haven't been paying much attention.
Is there a local wrestling scene?
I think there is. I think we have obviously World of Hurt steadily producing above average shows with easily entertaining programming or entertainment, I should say. And you have the Dynasty is attempting to make a play. Now hold on, the Dynasty has a show in January at the Troy Boys and Girls Club featuring Tommy Dreamer. They're bringing in a guy who can still, he can give somebody a rub there, and that looks to be a good show to me. You got Chuck Deep and Two-Rad Kyle Brad operating as a tag team, issuing an open challenge for the show. What are your thoughts on the Dynasty?
All right, my thoughts are all over the place at this point. I love the person who's behind it. I don't know if it's kayfabe or not, but he does an excellent job at trying to get the word out. As far as show preparation, there's a lot of things that are overlooked. That one time when they didn't have a doctor and the show had to get shut down, they did a very good thing. They covered their asses, gave everybody tickets to the next show. They took care of that situation. They moved to the Troy Boys and Girls Club, which is where 787...
The late 787.
The late 787.
Thank you.
That's kind of what I'm getting at right now. Didn't do so well. And the problem might not be the advertisement or the promotion of a wrestling show. The problem might actually be the location, the venue. Sometimes you just can't do wrestling in certain towns. And if I was them, I wouldn't look to a place that has a failed track record.
Well,
I'd look to a place that has a successful record.
Now, in fairness, Michael, you did speak at the funeral of 787 and Ultimate Wrestling East. And when you spoke at the funeral and you talked about their wins and their misses, you never mentioned the venue. So is this a new thought that you've had, or you really, if memory serves, pointed more towards the management and the selling of, the workers having to sell tickets and that forcing them to be a part of the program was incumbent upon them to sell tickets. I recall that. So are you worried about the venue now? Do you know how they did the last show? Because I think this is their second time running there in Dynasty.
Hindsight is 20/20. I stand behind everything I said about 787. I actually just recapped it before I went live with you guys now. Looking back on it, though, I would say that, yes, the venue is a situation. I mean, if they fill that place with 35 to 75 people, in my opinion, that's not a success.
Right.
In my opinion, they could jam-pack that place. They should be able to. And I think of a guy who was promoting like Shane Alden would, they probably would. I think there's something to the promotional side of this that has to be done a little better, a little more efficiently. I'm kind of contradicting what I just said because I like that Envy spreads the word on Facebook. I just don't know how hard of a street presence that he has.
No, okay, fair enough. Now let me ask you, as a guy who was able to see that, perhaps, and identify that, and you still have the itch, do you see yourself working with them in any way to help spread the word, to help make them successful?
I stepped away from wrestling, but I got to be honest. Just like I said before, never say never. I don't think I'm completely done with it. I think this is more or less me just blowing off some steam and taking a break right now. If there is somebody that I'm going to help, obviously I'm going to look to World of Hurt Wrestling, and obviously I have a great relationship with Chris Envy and probably half of the roster there. So if something were to come up and I could help him and try to help him be a little more successful, I absolutely would. If he reaches out to me in, the proper ways and shows an interest, he knows I'm always here for him. I always have.
Fair enough. Now, let me ask you, what do you see? You mentioned your skepticism on there being a local independent wrestling scene. What does the area need? What do you think? What is it missing? Obviously, listen, the promotion that shall not be named is still active. They're no longer running shows in Boston Spa because management issues at that location, as I understand it. They are strictly in somewhere west of Albany. They're running shows every other month, and it appears they're still drawing, which is great for the business locally. World of Hurt running. You have Dynasty really trying hard, I think, to make a play, and I think they have unique aspects to I think what they bring to the table. What do you think the area is missing? What is it?
This is the first and foremost. What the area is missing is licensed promoters. They need to have guys that have their own wrestling license that can set up shop anywhere they see fit. Now, as far as I know, Dynasty is running under UW,
Yep.
which again was, I don't think that's a success when you're running under somebody else's license. You're kind of at the mercy of them as far as time frame, schedule, this and that. And I've said this about World of Hurt Wrestling, too. If they had their own license, there's no reason why they wouldn't be killing it in this area with wrestling. I mean, the shows would be, in my opinion, they would be they would be closer together.
Right, more frequent, right.
A couple months in between.
Yep.
And I think there would be open reins for, the potential of wrestling to grow in this area. There's so many guys that have proven successful in this area and that, I would like to see come back, like Dalton Castle hardly wrestles in this area. You don't see, we were talking about it on the last show, but Billy King,
Yep.
the Monarchy, I'd like to see those guys in this area more often. There's guys that, if this area was successful, they would be here, and I think that would help wrestling grow in this area. But again, without people that actually have their promoter's license, it's never going to happen. I mean, that's the one thing that promotion that shall remain nameless has going for it.
Right. Well,
they are their own man.
Right, and they don't. Right now, obviously, we all know the hurdles and the obstacles. Is it something? Let's say.
Can you spit it out?
I'm just curious. Like, all right, let's take a young promotion like Dynasty. You're put in charge today. What would you do for the next show? You got Tommy Dreamer. How would you book that show?
I wouldn't book Tommy Dreamer. I mean, I don't know that would have anything to do with my model for a wrestling show. But first and foremost, I would establish a relationship with everybody that's going to be booked on that show and make sure that going forward we have the same mindset and that we have the same goal in mind. And that's not to get a good pay window. That's to have a good wrestling show that'll bring fans back the next time we want to set up, and that'll eventually make it so everybody has a nice pay window and that wrestling is doing good in that area. There's too many aspects of that to really go into it right now.
Right.
To say, like, if I was going to run a show, how would I do it? I mean, Jesus. First thing, I'd make sure that all my bases are covered, which obviously they didn't do that. They're second to last show here with the doctors skipping out on them.
Right.
I would make sure that there's backups for my backups and then backups for them.
Right. Now, obviously, yeah, it is hard. It is hard to say. I was just curious if you had like a magic bullet or a silver bullet or a magic bullet, something that can blend. Will, you got a question? I can see you're chomping at the bit here.
Well, I gotta say, when you teased this earlier in the show, you talked about a possible return, or there was some talk.
Something's interested. You're interested.
Something's got him interested again. Can we ask like what now has got you interested?
Yeah, you want to know what's tickling my tits?
Yes.
As long as we're not talking about my tits like Paul was talking earlier, I'm fine.
I would say come next springtime, I'm gonna have a lot more to say about this, but it all happened with me buying a wrestling ring frame recently.
Wow.
What? What does that mean?
Wow.
Well, it means that it's something in me that I had forgot I had for the last 15 years, and that was I always dreamed of running my own wrestling promotion. I always dreamed of having my own show, my own way, and it was never obtainable until this kind of just fell in my lap, and now I'm thinking this could be a reality. It's going to be a long road to get there.
That's very exciting.
Say that it's a sure thing. It's very exciting. It's something that's kept me up at night, and it's kept me busy during the day.
Listen, if you prepared for 7 hours for this piece of shit program, then I can only imagine how your mind is in overdrive at all hours of the day thinking about that.
Absolutely. And I mean, it would be a dream come true for me, and I know that's a weird thing. Unfortunately for me, I'm never going to appear on WWE TV. I'm never going to make it to the big times. And I may never even wrestle again.
Never say never.
Like you said.
Right, never say never, and this is still an obtainable dream for me. So
that's very exciting. Any final thoughts? Listen, I always turn to you, Mike, when it comes to a feel for what's going on in independent wrestling in our area. Any final thoughts on the scene in general or overall?
I think what World of Hurt Wrestling has got going for it right now, they're unstoppable. I don't think they're going to have a bad show. This last show, it was on a Sunday. They were up against football. They were up against kids not wanting to parents not wanting to have their kids out on what would be school the next day. School night, we'll say.
Absolutely. You're describing exactly the circumstances why Will didn't go. You just nailed it. And me.
Will didn't go, but from what I understand, there was 20 to 50 new fans that did go, and some of the World of Hurt diehards weren't there. But what they have going for them is a solid base of at least 100 fans that will be at every World of Hurt Wrestling show. And that's something that no promotion in this area for the longest time, even World of Hurt when it was running, 8 years ago, they couldn't say that. So what Shane has built for himself right now is incredible, and I'm not going to give Shane all the credit because every single guy that's went out there and performed for him, they're just as much a part of the success as he is. He's a brilliant promoter, and I think other guys in this area really need to focus. If they want to be competition or if they want to bring wrestling up to that level, they have to just look at Shane and how he does things.
Fair enough. I think well said. Mike, it's been an honor. I don't think the Mayan calendar let us down today.
Oh, man, I spent so long trying to rehearse that. I think I nailed it.
I think you did, too. I'll be honest. If you're just tuning in, be sure to go back to about 7:58 and listen to Michael Anthony's. He basically... What did he do, Will? What was that? What happened?
I fucking connected the dots, bitch.
Yeah, son, come on! Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Anthony, thank you for calling in, sir.
Oh, Will, get on the south.
No, wow. No! All right, thanks, Mike. That was a, listen, anytime he leaves me with a Guillaume de Sade, that's a...
Just so you know, for the viewers at home, I put up there that you're not a racist.
What?
You're not. It says, Paul, not a racist.
Can we stop this? I take serious umbrage. I take serious umbrage with all of these accusations. I really do.
I was saying you're not.
Yeah, I know, but can we not draw attention to the...
How can you not? He just said it.
I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber. You go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
All right, well, that was a great interview from Michael Anthony. Michael Anthony never... Wow. You all right, buddy? Michael Anthony rarely pulls any punches, and I don't think he did there. And when...
What did we learn from that one?
That's a good question. What did we learn? We learned that Michael Anthony owns a wrestling ring. What is that? What does that sound?
It's a clicker. Click.
Why?
Click.
Oh, guys, I'm telling you, I think he's still dizzy from his trip to Australia and then to Vietnam.
You're just jealous.
I'm a little jealous. What was that Justin Bieber picture before we go to break?
I was on a private plane with Nirvana.
Dude, Kurt Cobain is dead.
That picture?
Yes. Is that your birthday?
That was a real interesting night. Really, honestly.
Whoever edited that photo really should have dropped Bobby Ocean in there.
Well, we'll talk a different night about that one.
Oh, geez, something to look forward to. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we will speak to one of the most dominant forces in the history of local wrestling in New York and Vermont, the once dominant Pierre the Beast Vachon.
Franz is still getting his mouth fixed.
Yeah, still. Yeah. That is a frightening photo. That's a frightening picture. But also later on tonight, we will have World of Hurt star Shane Alden on the phone. And then, of course, to cap it all off, the coup de grace. I don't know. FOXX VINYER going to be on the show.
Oh, God.
I want to know.
No, God, please, no.
I know.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I want to know, is FOXX VINYER still the dating site socialite? I don't think so with that look.
Interesting haircut. We're going to ask him about that.
I'm a
believer, though. He's committed. We'll say that.
All right, fans, don't go anywhere. We are 6 minutes out from Pierre the Beast Vachon on this show. Don't go anywhere. It's very, very exciting.
Should Chuck Let Chuck take us out.
You want Chuck to take us out there? Well, okay.
You're watching Wrestlefudge TV Live, the only internet television program dedicated to covering the independent wrestling that you want to know about. Delivering the hard-hitting interviews you demand, and getting shit-faced drunk while doing it. Let's go back to Studio 68 Live, courtesy of 68 Caroline Productions, with Paul and Will. Take it away, boys.
Hold on a second. We need going back. We haven't even got our new drinks. Don't go anywhere.
Chuck, you son of a bitch.
Will, like I said, we need to run the gauntlet. We're going to do that probably somewhere between Pierre and Shane. So it's not yet time to run the gauntlet. Do not adjust your internet connection. We will be back in just a few moments.
You are watching Wrestlefudge TV Live, the only internet television program dedicated to covering the independent wrestling that you want to know about, delivering the hard-hitting interviews you demand, and getting shit-faced drunk while doing it. Let's go back to Studio 68 live, courtesy of 68 Caroline Productions with Paul and Will.
Thank you, Chuck. We are back here at 68 Caroline Productions, 68 Studio 68, and we are getting shit-faced drunk. I just made another drink, and I don't even know if there's energy drink in it. Go ahead and take a sip of that and tell me if you keep smiling. Let's see what you got. Go ahead. Good? All right. Welcome.
Just a little weak.
I don't know. I apologize. All right, we are back. Wrestlefudge TV Live. Will, you have it, right?
Oh.
That's hysterical. Oh, man, we're going to get so much shit for this. It's live internet programming, Will Senna. We are editing and booking on the fly, as we are known to do. There's always something going on here in Studio 68. Now, Will, our next guest is known for a lot of things. Known for being one of the most dangerous performers the local business has ever seen. I speak, of course, of none other than Pierre the Beast Vachon. Pierre, are you there, sir?
Oh my God! It's the first show back, and you give me a number to a Southern hick who just berated me for 20 minutes because I called him and bothered him because I called 3 times. So I haven't. My God,
Shit.
guys, it's been what 8 years since you've been on the air.
Yeah,
Come on now.
Can you tell?
Yeah. Oh my God. But that's all right. We're here. What's going on, fellas?
Well, honestly, Pierre, I want to know what's going on with you. It's been a very eventful 6 to 9 months in your personal life, of course. You've been very busy, but not involved with wrestling. We know you suffered an injury. That's the first question. That's the first question I have for you. Is what is your career? What's going on with you right now?
All right. Well, back in May, I think it was, I was in a match up in Vermont. I took a bad fall and gave myself what's called a grade 3 shoulder separation, which basically my shoulder is about 6 inches lower than it should be, and that doesn't work well when you're trying to wrestle. So,
It's my life story.
yeah, well, it happens that way. So now what I'm doing is I don't like the word retire. Like, that's the biggest bunch of BS in the world.
Of course.
Every wrestler that says they retired are full of crap. They all come back at one point or another. We've all heard about it. How many times have you seen Terry Funk come back from retirement, quote unquote?
Right.
Hell, I'll even throw out a good friend of mine, JT Black. He's been out of retirement more times than I can count.
True.
So everybody does it. So I'm not saying I'm retired. I say I'm taking limited bookings. That's the way I look at it. But right now, my shoulder's separated. I've been through a bunch of rehab. Doctors say if I want to get it back to regular, to where it needs to be, I got to have a pretty invasive surgery and have it reconstructed. So I'm going to be doing that. It's going to take a little while to get that done. Once I get that done and I'm healed, I'll be back in some way, shape, or form. I'm not saying I'm going to step back into a ring, but this business has been a part of my life for way too long for me to just walk away. So you will see me back. It's just might be in a different way. Maybe I will take over an ownership position of a company here or there, or help out with younger guys. I've already had a bunch of offers, guys asking me if I would help out, training young guys, taking them under my wing, or maybe showing up and maybe being the sheriff in town, taking care of business at a few promotions. So we'll see what happens. But I'm definitely not out. Let's get there first. I'm not completely out. I may not get back in a ring and actually beat someone up, but there's no way I'm going to be completely out of the business.
Now, fair enough. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's say you had your pick, knowing what you know and who you know in the independent wrestling scene in this area, in the area you've held sway over for such a long time. If you were to take a young guy under your wing, broken or otherwise, who would it be? If there was a guy that you were in the mood to try to grow and shape, if you will, who would that guy be? Who's the young guy that you might have your eye on?
Well, I've got my eye on a few guys, so we'll see if any of it comes to fruition. But one team that I've helped out over the years, and I'd like to help them even more, is Northern Fury. I'd like to see them. I've helped out those guys over the years. I've given them some advice. I've beaten the hell out of them quite a few times.
True.
In that way of giving them advice, because sometimes advice comes with a firm fist in the jaw. But anyway, I've taught them a little bit, and I would like to maybe work on getting my eyes on them to say, you know what? I was a highly decorated tag team champion for many, many years of my career, including NWA titles. I traveled all over, and I'd like to help them out. I think that they could really expand from what they're doing right now, and I think they could really take it to the next level. They just need somebody who's had a little bit of time under their belt to kind of give them that kick in the ass and show them where to go.
Well, you've had wars with one half of Northern Fury, Vigo. Obviously, you spent one summer just basically kicking the crap out of him and vice versa. So you two are no strangers. When it comes to Sergeant Fury, Dan Roberts, what is it about him that you think is special?
You know what? I think that kid's got a lot of heart, and that's this business. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I've never been the five-star technical wrestler. That's not my thing. I've never been the guy who goes out and puts on, quote-unquote, by smart mark standards, the five-star match with 7,000 moves. But there's one thing I've always been able to do when I get in a ring is entertain people and beat people up. And I think that he's got that in him right now. I just think he needs somebody to take him in and just show him how he can get to the next level, what he can do. I think he's got a lot of heart, and I think he has a lot of potential. And I think he just needs to get a little more aggressive and just have a little bit more seasoning. And that comes with somebody with experience taking them in and just showing them the way and giving them the tricks of the trade, so to speak. So I think I would love to have a great opportunity to help those two boys out and help elevate their game.
Fair enough. Now, you've been involved in almost every promotion locally that's run in the last 5 or 6 years in one way or another, influenced in one way or another. Tell me your thoughts on Slam All-Star Wrestling. They have a show tomorrow night in St. Albans, Vermont, at the St. Albans City Hall. They're taking it right back to City Hall. What are your thoughts on that promotion? Let's be honest, there was a time there where it was pretty shaky on what their longevity would be, and they're still in the hunt and still fighting up in northern Vermont. What's the one thing you've taken away from working with the guys in that promotion and in front of those fans?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you one thing without a doubt is Vermont wrestling fans are some of the most rabid, awesome fans you will ever get a chance to step in the ring in front of. They are like Memphis 1977 all over again. Like you can do some amazing. I've done stuff up there that if I did it in other parts of the country, and I've tried, people stare at you like you have 6 arms and you just tried to jack off an alien. But you go up there and you throw fireballs in the air, and you spit green mist, and people dig it, and they just love all that stuff. But, I think SAW has they've always been a really tight-knit family up there. They have, and they have some guys that maybe aren't the best in the world, of course, but there's plenty of promotions in the country who have gone on to greatness with not the best guys working under their belt. But they have some real solid talent up there. I think they have a good chance. But what they need to do, like every promotion, and this is to every promotion listening, if you are in a company, you're running a company, this is my advice. Stop thinking you're Vince McMahon. Let's start there. Don't think you're the next big thing. Just be what you are where you are. Don't try to take over the world. Try to conquer your area. And I think they just need to tighten up some of their production, maybe get a little bit more put together with their advertising teams, their street teams. And I think if they keep going, because SAW is the longest-running professional wrestling promotion in Vermont. I mean, I've run promotions in Vermont. Many guys have come and gone, but SAW has stayed. And I think if they can up the caliber, bring up the game a little bit, and just polish that product, I think that they will be there for a long time. But they just need to stop thinking too big of a picture and think that they're going to blow up. Everybody comes in when they take over a business, like a wrestling promotion, and think they're going to make the next WWE. Stop doing that. None of us are that. make what you have, and that's entertain the fans that are showing up and give them their hard-earned dollars worth and give them a production, a show that they can be happy that they spent that $15 on a ticket.
Well, like you mentioned, they already have the passionate fans. You know, they've already got a built-in audience, and I would agree with you that really it just comes down to presentation and storytelling. Ultimately, keep it simple. Now, how about locally, a little bit more locally to where we are in upstate New York? You worked for pretty much everybody, everyone at one point or another. What do you think? Is there clearly there is some competition locally. Who do you see as the leader?
Well, right now, I'm going to be honest. You're really comparing. Let's not beat around the bush and make this some kind of crazy dance. You guys in your magic spinning and all that crap, you journalists, let's shoot it straight. We're talking about World of Hurt. We're talking about In Your Face. You're blatantly. Those are the two big ones right now.
Sure.
In that area, right?
Yep.
Am I correct?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody's had some kind of weird heat with IYFW. I personally, in my end, can say I have never had a problem with them. I think that their promotion has a whole lot of potential, and they've done some great stuff. Their booking team there puts on storylines.
I agree.
You have to give them that.
Absolutely.
They build a story that makes people want to see what's going to happen next. Now, you can bitch and whine all you want about production, and it's true. I've said it to the promoters, the owners. They need to up their production value, but no one can beat the fact that they try to build compelling stories. Because as much as people want to act like we're still in the 1950s of wrestling, when it was just go out there in your tights and wrestle, that's not the way it is anymore.
Right.
So now it's a show, it's a storyline. People want to be invested in the characters. It's not just the fact that two guys got greased up and are going to punch each other. That era's left. So now you can look like a Ken and Barbie doll all you want and wear the pretty tights, but if people don't give two craps about you in the ring or have a compelling story that want to see you do something, it doesn't mean anything. It's basically you're going after a group of people that just remember wrestling when wrestling was real, quote unquote. You have to go after everybody and go after those stories. So IYFW in that way, without a doubt, they have the best storytelling. Every show they have a story, and every match almost has a point, and it builds to something. Even if you don't see it right off, they do a long-term booking that I think is very good, and it's very good to hook a crowd. However, their production needs work without a doubt. They need to just upgrade and make some stuff look a little tighter.
Somebody told me they got a new ring. I did hear they got a new ring. I can't.
I haven't been back since I've been in. It's very hard for me to go to a show if I can't, get in there and beat somebody up, and with my other stuff going on, I haven't had time. But I do have to get back. And World of Hurt, I'm not going to knock them in any way. They have tremendous talent, without a doubt. They have some of the best guys in the area, hands down. But I think that, and their production is second to none. For an independent promotion, I've seen what they do for production, and it's damn good.
Speaking as a fan, who's your favorite there? I know that I jump on Pure Dynamite's bandwagon immediately whenever I go to a World of Hurt show. Chuck Deep, always a fan favorite for me. Who are you going to see World of Hurt for?
Well, if I'm going to go to World of Hurt, for me, I'm actually right there with you. I've had many wars in the ring with Pure Dynamite, with Chuck Deep. I've traveled all over, the East Coast, and those guys always put on a hell of a show. When I walk in, I go to see those are two guys that I love to see is Pure Dynamite. Chuck Deep, Franz Roddy. I mean, I helped train the guy when he was first starting out. Franz is one of those guys that anywhere he goes, you want to see him do what he does, and he's damn good at what he does. So I've got nothing but respect. And even some of the old guard that come and go, like the Haas and the Punk and that crew. I went through the ranks with them over the years off and on, and I wrestled for World of Hurt years ago. They are a solid promotion. I think you're kind of comparing apples to oranges when you put the two of them and everybody wants to put them in some heated battle. The reality is they're working different styles of show. World of Hurt brings in more names usually, so they have a different flavor to their show.
True.
IYFW has to go. They have some names occasionally, but they go more homegrown and more storyline based. And
Do you think that IYFW is even on World of Hurt's radar? I don't even think World of Hurt really pays attention to him.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the second one may try to one-up other organizations in the area. We know it. We've reported on it in the past. But World of Hurt seems to be in their own realm. They seem to be enjoying their own success and not really even worrying about what other people are doing.
And I think that's the important thing, but I think everybody has to get on that page. And I think sometimes it's not so much the promotions that cause the problems. It's some of the guys in both. I'm not even going to... that have egos that need to put it out into the into the social media, and they think they're creating some kind of amazing heat. You're not doing anything by doing that. Just worry about your own.
Right.
I've seen it on. I get it all the time. I see some guys that work for World of Hurt will go out and shoot salvos and talk all kinds of trash about IYFW. I see IYFW guys who go out and they talk all kinds of trash about this or that. If everybody would just shut up and wrestle and do their own shows, thank you. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. The fans are going to go for their own flavor. Even the Monday. The problem is, again, promoters. Not even the promoters in this case, but wrestlers want this reliving of the Monday Night Wars, and they think they're getting it through their independent wrestling promotions. Right. It doesn't work the same. We don't have TV. We're not paying guys $1 million. No one's paying Franz $1 million to jump ship to the other promotion and drop a title belt.
Although they should.
Thank you. Amen. Amen, my brother.
There you go, Franz. I'm pushing for you to get $1 million of booking. Call me if I can make that happen. I'll kill you and take it myself. Anyway,
but I think you did touch on an interesting point. It is kind of apples and oranges to a certain degree, and I wonder just how much of the audience the two promotions are actually sharing. And to me, that's a problem. I think they should see both shows. If I could stomach, I would.
Yeah, the thing is, there's two shows, and I think wrestling fans need to go back to being fans of wrestling, of the whole show. The problem is promotions a lot of times will try to hook. They don't realize that fighting with each other is just dwindling your own audience.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying if you see the guy who brings in the show of a bunch of guys who are untrained and look like they're wearing baggy jeans and they all look like they're trying to be John Cena without the body, then don't. That's not what I'm talking about. Professional wrestlers, guys who are going out there and they're working their craft, give them the respect to show up and give it a shot, because you never know. That one show might be completely different, and stop trying to compare the shows. That's the biggest thing, is when everyone starts comparing shows and fighting over them, that's when you lose an audience. Everybody needs to, as fans, stop trying to be so smart and think you know everything, and just enjoy the show. And wrestlers, stop acting like anyone gives a shit about you. But just go out and perform. Just go out, and the 50 or 200 or 7,000 people that showed up that night, you give them the damn show that they paid for, and don't care about the guy on Twitter who's at home naked eating Cheetos and texting and tweeting about how many matches had this many spots in it.
You sound like you're running a promotion already, sir. I think you're all geared up. You are shot out of a can.
You sound like you're running. You sound like you're
6 months of sitting around watching this crap, and now I got stuff to say.
Oh, what poor son of a bitch is going to be the first guy that gets in this guy's way?
Not me.
On the way down to the ring. I know you've had a lot of problems with him, and you're scared shitless. It would be amazing if you were the first one he cracked on the way down to the ring.
Now it almost sounds, Pierre, like you're running for office. Would you like to announce any intentions?
You know what? If there was a wrestling presidency, damn it, boys, I would put my name in a hat.
Wow!
You have our vote. We're writing you in.
Oh, good. Write me in everywhere. VACHON for whatever press. I don't care. I could become notary republics in small towns all over the country. Just write my name in. I don't give a shit.
Because here it is. Your catchphrase, your tagline would be, because the alternative is just too painful.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Or there you go. You want to be my campaign manager? I don't have time for this crap. It's all you, man.
Your campaign may not survive Paul's past.
Now let me ask you a question here. We've been talking a lot about local photographer,
friend of the Fudge,
Gary Braham.
Yeah,
Braham.
me up?
Yes, come on.
Recently stepping away from the independent wrestling scene, not because of injury, I think he was just kind of burnt out with it being basically a thankless job. I don't think words. We've been talking about it all night. We spoke with Michael Anthony about it earlier. I don't think words can really express the impact that he's had as far as promotion awareness locally, for social media impact. He really single-handedly gave wrestlers
wrestling the view,
Right.
the fans the view.
Right. He provided the wrestlers with free material, and I don't know if he was ever really appreciated. Now, what's your thoughts on Gare?
I love that dude. One thing, now that the curtain's pulled back a little bit, and I'm not as aggressive as normal, because I'm kind of a mellow beast right now. I'm not all amped up.
Are you on oxycodone?
What? No, I'm not doing footballs. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm just relaxed right now. I'm pumped up because I'm talking about something that I'm so passionate about. But Gary, he is amazing. He was one of the best photographers in all my years of wrestling that I ever had the privilege of wrestling. He got it. And it's a shame, but I understand burning out. Sometimes you got to take a step back. But in my opinion,
nobody got time
he's
for
just
that.
as much a part of the business as every guy who steps in the ring. Because if it wasn't for him, all those guys in there, all the fat guys in spandex wouldn't look good. He made guys look amazing. He took pictures. He just had that knack. He had that knowledge and that love.
Timing.
You know what? I think I agree 100% with what you're saying. I think it's because he knew where the move was getting set up. So he knew where to be. He knew where to get that shot that was coming off, that was going to land that, I'm going to say it, money shot, that was like the pinnacle of landing a suplex or the pinnacle of landing a backbreaker, pile driver. He knew where to be in the ring at the moment that captured the image that wrestler was looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. He was one of the best. And I say that I've traveled all over the country. I've wrestled a lot of places. I've dealt with a lot of photographers. I can't count the number of times I've had to punch a photographer to get him out of my way because he didn't know where to be, and I was about to hit something, and he was in my way, and I had to move him. But Gary, he always knew. He knew where to go, how to stay out of your way so that you could, take care of business, and he got the great shots of everybody. And he always respected, and he still does. I mean, I haven't had the chance to really talk to him, but that man respects wrestling. He respects the business. And I think that a lot of guys in the business and promotions didn't give him the respect that he deserved. They didn't treat him as part of the show, and I think that's a big mistake that some promotions have made over the years. They didn't treat him as part of the show. They looked at him as, that big fan who takes pictures. Well, if it wasn't for him, your show wouldn't have looked as good on print media, on social media, with all those amazing pictures.
Now, I got to say, everybody probably at home is looking at the picture I put up of Gary.
Wrestlefudge Orange.
They think we're messing around with Gary. But no, Gary is a very humble guy.
Private.
He's a private guy. He enjoys his privacy. Therefore, we put this image up there to protect some of that privacy. Gary's a well-known guy. I mean, think back. How many years ago, if you can even remember, what was the first promotion or show that you remember seeing Gary
Yeah,
at?
well, how'd you meet Gary?
Oh, my God. I met Gary... it had to be. It was a long time ago. And I think the first time I met Gary was I was just coming off of a run with NWA down south. I did the NWA anniversary shows down in Tennessee, and I was on a bunch of shows. And I came up and did, I think it was, I don't even remember the promotion now. That's how long ago it was. It was in Vermont. I did a spot show, and he was there. And the first time I saw him, I was like, who the hell's this guy? And then he was taking pictures, shook his hand, and he talked about who he said, hey, and told me who he was. I was like, oh, cool. And then he sent me this picture, and I have to find it, but it was this clothesline shot of me just ruining somebody. Clothesline, and the look on my face and just that perfect timing. I looked at it and went, oh, my God, this guy knows what the hell he's doing.
Gary, come in here.
I made a point to always try to find if he was on a show. I was excited because I knew I was going to get something quality, some kind of promotional picture. It amazed me when I found out over the years that promotions weren't paying him.
Seriously?
I thought he was a paid photographer. That's how good he is. I thought he was a guy they were paying, and I thought, wow, they must be charging, paying him through the roof. And when I ran a show in Vermont, and he said, hey, I'll show up and I'll take pictures, I thought he was going to charge me a lot of money. He's like, no, I just want to do it. I love doing it. And that shows he has more dedication to the business than some of the idiot young guys I see coming through nowadays.
Right now, the question I was going to ask you before I rudely cut you off.
He is horrible. He cuts everybody off.
Well, no. My question would be, obviously you have a history with him. Do you think, do you think there's anybody that can really fill that spot?
Man, in this area I haven't seen anybody, and I think it'll be tough. I think somebody could step up, but he's so many years in.
Gary, where are you?
At what he's done, it's going to take somebody. I think it's going to take 3 guys to fill the ability of him and his photography skills. It's going to take guys taking multiple pictures and just throwing crap at walls and hoping it sticks for a long time before they catch up to the ability that he had. I don't know if anyone's going to step up in the near future. I hope somebody does, because it's a vital part of wrestling, is getting those great action shots, those moments that you can hold on to forever and and be able to use. And I think I hope someone can step up, but right now I don't know if there's anyone around who can.
I want to know, moving away from Gary and moving back to you, what's on the horizon for Pierre VACHON? You've been busy with comedy, obviously. Where can we expect to see you in any capacity? What are you up to?
Well, right now I've been really focusing on comedy and getting some other things in the works. I'm hoping to start doing a podcast pretty soon myself.
Wow.
That will be talking, it'll be a lot of comedy stuff, but also I'll talk a lot about wrestling and a lot of stuff, how I feel about what's going on, and maybe interview some guys in the business and try to have something that's a little different, does a little bit of everything.
Well, to answer your question you're about to ask, yes, we will be your first guest. No problem.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask Will, and I was going to ask you if you would just tell everybody to come and listen to us.
Sure, no problem.
Perfect. I love it.
But no, right now I've been really focusing on comedy. I have my tattoo shop in Vermont that I've been doing a lot of custom leather work out of there. Working on, hopefully, finally I got a bunch of legal crap taken care of with my comedy, some of my film stuff. I'm trying to use it. I've been building PIERRETheBeast.com for a while, and I haven't had a chance to put it up because for some reason some comedy clubs think, or some comedy promoters think that they have the right to keep my video without me being able to use it, even though it's my fat ass on stage talking for a half an hour.
Right.
But they think it's theirs. So I'm working on that so I can get some video up.
It's 68 Caroline Productions. I know they let you own all of your own productions.
I own all of this, so I can just put all this stuff up and just rants and all that. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Don't you come back and try to sue me, Paul.
Never. I listen. I have no legal grounds to stand on. You've also recently joined Twitter at @PIERRE_THE_BEAST. Are you active on Twitter?
Yeah, I just started.
Retard alert.
Twitter, I've heard this amazing thing that just came out of nowhere recently called Twitter.
Right.
I think it's something the kids are really going to get into. So I've decided to join. I had an account back in 2009, and I think one drunken night I put like 2 tweets up, and I was like, oh. And then somebody said, dude, why aren't you on Twitter? And I said to them, what are you talking about? I forgot all about Twitter. And then I said, I might as well set it up. So now, at @PIERRE_THE_BEAST, follow me, all you seersuckers, all you friends, all you freaks, all you good people, even Paul.
I think I started following you years ago before you were even active on it, I think. You want to talk?
Wow, so you've just been staring at my blank screen for 9 years. You're kind of creepy.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
That's all right. I respect that.
Well, I don't know what that says about you. Pierre, I want to thank you for calling in. Any last words for Will Senna, your man crush?
Yeah, well, Will, you and I, we're boys. And at some point when you guys go to a show, you have to let me know so I can show up and sit in the front row and drink a beer with you and punch Paul.
Oh,
Nice!
shit.
I love that. That's how. You know what? That's a date. It's a date.
All right, perfect. You let me know. You tell me the time, and if I'm not doing something like comedy or
anything better,
whatever the crazy stuff I do, whatever I'm doing, I will show up. I'll punch Paul, and then we'll enjoy a show.
You know what I think is an even better idea? I mean, as you rehab and you recover, You need to do a live wrestling show, a Wrestlefudge live
In studio?
event with us.
Oh, shit.
That's what needs to happen.
Come down to the studio. We'll have to set that up. I'll have
fuck.
to make a trip and make a weekend of it.
Remember, we do live shows now, so there's a time where maybe we meet up in Whitehall, or there's some cross.
We gotta do that. And
we'll cross the streams, Ray. We'll cross the streams.
maybe we can work out something. We get I'll get a comedy show in the area where you guys are at. 'Cause I'm trying to get into New York right now doing comedy. I've got a lot of interest in the New York area for me to come in and do some stand-up in the Albany, Saratoga.
Comedy works.
Tell them you have a live streaming company that may come and stream.
Call Tommy
if you were there.
Call Tommy at the Comedy Works. Just don't tell him we sent you.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, deal. All right.
All right, Pierre. Thank you so much for calling in. I look forward to your lovable fist breaking my fucking nose. Can't wait.
Thank you so much, guys. Welcome back.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most dominant performers in local wrestling, Pierre the Beast Vachon. Thanks again. Let's give it up one more time. Wow, great interview as always. Will Senna. What did we just learn, Will? Bring me home.
Pierre had a devastating shoulder injury, but it is not.
Did he say it was his pork shoulder?
It is not pork shoulder hurting him at all in his love for wrestling. He's passionate. He's going to get the surgery done. He's going to come back in some capacity, which is more than Michael Anthony could say for us. He left us hanging. Gave us no information. Bought a ring. Great. What are we going to do with the ring? That's the question.
You're a needy son of a bitch. When we come back in just a few short minutes, we may preview the gauntlet potentially. Okay. We may take a look. We may have Shane Alden on the phone when we return. We still have a lot of show to get to. On the phone in just a short while, World of Hurt superstar Shane Alden. Maybe we can ask him if he's been watching. Maybe we can ask him what he thinks about Pierre Vachon's statements about the rivalry. I want to know what Shane thinks. If there is a rivalry, we've never asked him that before. So when we return, when we come back, Will, what do you? Oh shit! I gotta tell you, it's a cute kid.
I was sad to let him go, but he's in good hands, as you can see.
Is that
guy's wearing a tie? He's probably got shoes without shoelaces.
Is that Reggie Bush?
I don't know. When we come back,
we will speak with none other than Shane Alden, hot off the heels of an appearance on WWE television. Another appearance, but his first in-ring matchup, tag match, teaming with his brother Eric.
Well done, by the way.
What a moment!
I'd like to talk to him about.
Yeah, what a moment that had to be for him. I look forward to talking to him. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a few. back in just a few short minutes. Don't go anywhere. Shane Alden when we return. Actually, Shane Alden a couple minutes after we return, because we're coming back in like 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on Wrestlefudge TV Live, Season 4 premiere. Great to be here. Great to have you with us. Will Senna. Let's talk about the program we've had. Pierre VACHON laid it all out there. He has my vote.
I agree. The man is a campaign genius.
I agree.
Sorry, I was off mic for a minute there.
No, everything's fine.
Everything's fine. And it's great, but we haven't had our moment of the day, really. When everybody, in my opinion, comes to Wrestlefudge for, and that's for the ladies. So here you go.
Alexis
explain.
Nevaeh. Listen, we haven't even got to the gala yet.
A little slower.
Alexis Nevaeh. We're going to talk about her in a little bit. Well, I know you can't wait. You're chopping.
Nevaeh. What
It's
nationality?
Why is that important, Will? I don't see color, but I do see ethnicity. We are live on Wrestlefudge TV Live. Alexis Nevaeh will be featured in the Gauntlet, which is coming up later on in our program.
We're back, people. We're back.
We are back. Well, crazy weather we've been having locally here in upstate New York, Buffalo, New York. Just a few short hours west of here.
Arctic air.
Looks like an upside down dildo.
Whoa, not in our area.
You're not kidding.
We're at the bottom of that ball sack.
Is that true? Blizzard potential Thursday through Friday? Are we fucked?
In Buffalo.
Oh,
you are fucked.
Oh shit. This is
when people in Buffalo got up this morning. They looked out on Great Lake, Ontario there, or Erie, whichever one it is.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
And this
knows.
is what they saw. Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god. Is that snow lightning?
It might be.
Do you know how rare that is?
Speaking of rarity, rare photos exist of where Will Senna
rare amounts of snowfall in this belt through that area near the water.
All this makes me wish that we had a Telecaster or whatever.
Yeah. Imagine if you got up and you saw that. Would you even get out of bed? No.
Why would you? What are we talking?
Oh, fuck, I'm getting back under the covers.
Speaking of moments that have me burying my head, well, later on,
you say it's burying your head. You keep asking for them.
Later on in the program, you are going to share some more pictures from your year-long vacation.
You want another picture?
I don't know, but I don't want to.
This was weird. It was an instance. It was some community service I did. Well, in Tokyo.
Okay. Oh, Jesus!
I had to be in there. What are you gonna do?
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. That's from 1985, I think.
And there's Mike crying as his money was taken away.
Oh, Mr. Will Senna, this is fantastic. I'm such a huge fan of Wrestlefudge. I watch it all the time. When are you coming back? I think Paul's looking for you. Hey, Will.
King Hippo almost ate me. Yeah. It was a very horrible
Actually,
experience.
I thought you were King Hippo, judging by that picture of you with Bret Hart. I thought that was you.
Oh, come on. Come on.
You were plus size, that's all.
Well, I've never debated that.
You were definitely plus size.
Yeah.
So what have we learned on the program today? We learned that we're struggling to write a good bit.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
Oh, I'm kidding. I actually love this. I'm having a great time. I'm really enjoying it. Will, it's been
The
tomorrow.
artist who did all the photo cropping, I mean, we got to give him credit.
He's no Gary. But Will, you
Gary?
yeah. Will, you yourself, it's been a year since you've appeared on this program, and
Gary!
I'm happy to have you back.
Gary!
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm sorry.
Gary!
It was not an intentional.
Gary, come in here.
It was not.
Gary, where are you?
He's right there. Here he is. He's in the room.
All right. I was looking for. We want him back. Come on back, Gary. Come back. You should be in here.
I couldn't get him up there on the damn screen fast enough.
Oh, boy.
Richard Simmons creeps me out.
Oh man, it's fucking fantastic.
Okay, now let's get back to business. We have something to run. Do you have the? I'm ready with the gauntlet. Are you queued? Is Chuck? Is he freaking ready?
I don't think we're ready to run the gauntlet because in just in a few short minutes.
Jesus, in 1 minute.
I know, dude. Time flies when you're completely wasting it. With foolishness. But yeah, calling into the show. It's a pleasure, Will, for me to introduce our guest at this time, right on cue, ladies and gentlemen, World of Hurt superstar Shane Alden. Shane, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, what's going on?
We're having a great night. We're having a good time. I appreciate you giving us a call here, and welcome back to the program.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped that you guys are back. It's been a long time.
It is.
I'm really pumped.
Good. So are we, man. It's been too long, and I'm just glad that Will Senna is home safe and sound.
Yeah, he kind of went on the fritz there for a while.
He did. It was his lost weekend, like John Lennon. It's a lot like that. Shane, I'm going to jump right into maybe something that's been really exciting, probably one of the most exciting things in your recent lifetime. Let's talk about your most recent appearance on WWE programming, teaming with Jeff Starr. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
I think I misspoke earlier, but tell me what that moment was like for you, and yeah, bring us there.
It was pretty crazy, man. It was like I guess like any wrestler that ever wrestles on the independents or whatnot. It's like a dream of theirs to walk down that ramp and come out of that entranceway and look at an arena, amongst their hometown arena, which has made it even sweeter,
Right.
It was pretty overwhelming. It really was, man. It was really something.
Obviously, like you mentioned, that hometown crowd is pretty important. Did you guys have a pretty decent contingent behind you there?
Yeah, you see, that's the interesting thing. Like, I feel like whenever, unknown guys have matches, it's kind of, it falls on deaf ears, or like it's a cue in for the audience to go and get popcorn or buy T-shirts or whatnot. But between, Jeff and myself, like, I guess we're lucky because there was two of us, so like a whole lot of the people knew him and a whole lot of the people knew me, so we definitely came out to we came out with an entrance is another thing that's rare.
Nice.
But we came out to more than a smattering of cheers, which was pretty neat. It made the whole thing was pretty overwhelming.
Now Jeff Starr, of course, no stranger to competing in a WWE ring. Did he help prepare you for the moment, or what was that conversation like?
Well, somewhat. I mean, like, I guess not to get like too into it. It's kind of interesting. Like, I actually kind of helped him get there this time, which is interesting, and it was cool to do because he had been there before and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I definitely asked him what it was like. Here's a funny backstory. I don't know if you know the team we face. It's the Ascension from NXT.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so here's the funny thing. Me nor Jeff, either of us have cable. So they told us we're going to be facing the Ascension from NXT. So Jeff starts texting. He starts texting a friend of his, and he's like, hey man, knew that they had the WWE Network, so he's like, hey, we don't know who these guys are. We're wrestling the Ascension. Have you ever heard of them?
Oh, Jesus.
And the next text that comes back is, oh yeah, dude, they're a mix between Legion of Doom and the Acolytes, if you can imagine that.
That's an accurate description.
Yeah, so me and Jeff were just like, oh, shit. Like, oh. You know, we're like, can imagine, you know, what our job is going to be. You know, we're going to have our work cut out for us at the least, you know. But it's kind of interesting. I guess, like, the whole, like, the prep of the whole thing and, like, being in the gorilla position and, like, coming out. It's kind of like, I remember one of the, I think it was Matt Hardy on a car ride once had told me that, like, your first time going out there is kind of, like, dreamy and it's, like, surreal when you see the crowd and you see, like, the screen and all the stuff, you know, that you watched as a kid so many times when you're living it. It's kind of, like, dreamy. But, like, so that part kind of had me, like, nervous, I guess, if you will, or it kind of had me going a little bit. But as soon as the bell rang and the match itself started, like, I'm pretty comfortable there. I had the same thing I had done a million times in, you know, every state and town that I've wrestled in. So, like, that part of it was, you know, I'm confident with the in-ring part. Like, everything else kind of gave it, like, that big feel. But, like, the wrestling is the same that you do anywhere, you know, anytime you wrestle.
Yep, and obviously an up-and-coming team in the Ascension. What were your thoughts working with them? Was one of your? Would you look upon that as one of your better matches, or how do you perceive it?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, like, not to get too. Again, I say that again, not to get too into it, but, like, it, you know, it definitely wasn't a squash match.
Right.
It was, you know, we actually went out and had a match against those guys that was competitive. And, you know, they are big guys. They hit hard, you know, like, and the ring, here's another thing about the ring, like, people don't realize that, like, you would think the WWE ring is the most comfortable ring that you're ever going to wrestle in, but that thing has, like, 15 canvases on it. If they switch for TV, that ring hurts.
Right.
So to get in there with guys that size in a ring that's uncomfortable, that was my brother. Also had he was at TV that day, and he wrestled during the day in the ring, and his first thing is like, oh, man, he's like, this ring hurts. Like, is it just me, or does this ring hurt, you know?
Right. Who did he have a match with?
He actually wrestled Jeff.
Oh, okay, beautiful, nice.
Right.
Nice. Now, obviously, I do want to talk about your local activities, but how about the experience as a Rosebud appearing with Adam Rose? That just looks like a lot of fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and like I said, like, you know, having the match was like it's like a thing, you know, you can say when people ask, have you ever had a WWE match? And, like, you know, if I stop wrestling tomorrow, I achieved that one thing that I set out to do. But, like, any time that you go to TV, like, it's a special thing, and it's like 99% of the guys that wrestle will never get that call to go and do that. So, I mean, anytime, like, it's a ball, you know, being backstage and taking it all in and, you know, seeing, like, you know, I'm working TV, you know, me and my brother did a lot of TV stuff, so, like, seeing the production value and knowing that travels, it's a traveling television show. I mean, like,
it's a machine.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's take it back to World of Hurt, because obviously that's where your passion lies, without question. That you've clearly poured your heart and soul into this promotion, both in the ring and out. I want to talk about the most recent events at your most recent event, if I may, Saved by the Bell, Dustin Diamond appearing, but the top story for me is Swinger Sadusky. And I know you and Swinger go back a very long way, and I know that there's a lot of history there, a mutual respect, and you two have had some incredible matches, including the return of World of Hurt Wrestling in Hudson Falls a handful of years ago, which was probably one of the better matches I've seen at a World of Hurt show, in my opinion. But what's your thoughts on Swinger Sadusky's future, and talk about that a little bit.
Well, you know, the whole thing sucks, and it's all at, like, a hard time. I guess deep down in me, I know Joe more than anybody else does, and I know that he will be back. I just know that he's not done, you know. But it did happen at a bad time, like, he was changing jobs and, like, bettering himself to a good job. So he was without health insurance, and, like, you know, he got injured doing this small thing, and it definitely was hard on him. And, like, he really, like, he should be proud. He really, like, busted his butt and, like, did everything he could do to make the money he needed to get the surgery to take care of his family. So, like, on a personal level, I'm proud of him for that. But it just, it definitely sucks. Like, to go into it a little deeper, the Screech show was cool for me because I'm a huge Saved by the Bell fan. Everybody that knows me knows that. But at the same time, it was, like, really bittersweet because a lot of changes are taking place. Like, I ran World of Hurt walking on stilts, and the stilts that I ran it for, everybody gives me the credit always, but, like, I relied very heavily on Sadusky. He was, like, my partner in crime. Michael Anthony was the face of it.
Right.
And I can't even tell you, like, how hard it is to do that without them to it, especially, and now, you know, with Danger being gone,
right.
It's like I lost three of my, you know, honestly, I lost three of my top stars in one swoop. Like, boom, you know.
Yep.
Bessie got hurt. You know, Michael Anthony is out for the personal reasons. And then a little backstory, you know, Danger lost the career
yes.
match, but he also, you know, is suffering from some injuries as well. So it's like, boom, like the sole support that runs World of Hurt, like it's just like gone in one swoop. So that it's definitely challenging and a lot harder, and you know, it is what it is. The train's got to keep rolling.
Very true. Now, you actually, that leads me right into my next question. Clearly, a promotion in flux. You talk about losing Swinger Sadusky for short term or long term. We know that Danger not only losing the World of Hurt Heavyweight Championship, but also effectively retiring. He not only left town, he's leaving the business and also injured. And Michael Anthony, say what you want about the guy. God knows we will. But he's got a mind for the game. He I believe, shares a similar passion as you do. Losing those three, like you said, core people, who's going to fill that void, Shane? Because I don't think you have to worry about putting fans in the seats, because as we've talked about a lot, you guys have a great thing going based off of your in-ring presentation. Honestly, with or without those three, but who do you think takes those spots? Swinger Sadusky was main event or damn near close to it pretty much every show, and he stole the show every show. Who are those two or three guys that you see, honestly, taking advantage of a huge opportunity? One man's loss is another man's gain, and this is a very cutthroat sport. Who's going to be the people who you think jump into that spot?
Well, I mean, I hope other wrestlers that wrestle for me are listening and they can hear this. Like, it's literally, it's anybody's for the taking, honestly. Show us something, because, I mean, right now, Jeff is the champion, and, I mean, he should be. I mean, look at him. His in-ring work is great. He's a great wrestler and a great champion, and he's like, Jeff Star sells tickets. People pay money to watch him wrestle.
And he's had an amazing story this past year, between his injury, his personal tragedies, losing his best friend, having to go to war with his best friend. That's no small burden to carry. And it seems as though it's culminated into a really amazing moment for him. But now he's a marked man.
How long does the title run last? How long can he keep up that momentum?
Vince Beach has to be nipping at him.
That was such an emotional battle. I mean, there's a lot of letdown that could happen after that type of match. This is a time for Vince to strike, in my opinion. And this is where Vince flourishes. Playing with a man's emotion.
Right. And I think, like, you know, I'm not his biggest fan, but I think that Vince Beach is a hell of a wrestler. People despise him. I mean, he is like, if there's one guy that, you know, the audience may want to see Jeff Star beat square in the middle of the ring, it would be Vince Beach. And if there's one guy that could give Jeff a run for their money and take that title, I mean, he's a former champion himself. It's Vince Beach. But like I said, I'm not ruling anybody out. I'm sure, you know, not to let the cat out of the bag, but we got some new faces coming in for 2014, and like things are changing. We're at the beginning of a new era, you know.
All right, but we need some WrestleFudge exclusives when you're ready to pop that info. Come on, hook a brother up.
Well, I can kind of tell you some of the plans moving forward.
Okay.
we're going to continue to rock at the Whitehall Athletic Club, but we're doing some road shows too. We moved into Vermont. Our first show in January of 2015 is going to not be at the Whitehall Athletic Club. It's going to be in Lake Luzerne, New York.
Wow.
And then of course we're going to go back to Fort Edward, and we got full dates. Massachusetts, Vermont. We're going to keep spreading and keep rocking and just keep expanding. So there's some big stuff going on. But like I said, it's going to be with some new faces too. It's a new dawning of a new day. The train's got to keep chugging.
That's very exciting. Very exciting. Expansion is always a big deal. What do you see next for you in World of Hurt? Obviously, like as you mentioned, you have that friendship with Jeff Starr, but man, you've been there. Do you see yourself in the title picture going forward? I'm going to cut right to it.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I did do that and hold the title, and it was great. It's different, like, until you've, like, done it for a company, whether it be an indie company or a big, or even the WWE. Like, I think people's, they being the champion, like, you don't know what it's like to be the champion until you are the champion. You're responsible for having the best matches, the biggest feuds. Yeah, that's a big responsibility. And, I liked it, actually, but, again, too, I don't think, like, some things are personal to me, and the belt isn't like my number one priority. I like to obviously have good matches and entertain people, but like I don't have to carry around a belt to make my matches seem important. Like I feel like every match I have is important, whether it's for a belt or not.
Fair enough. Speaking of rivalries. We did have Michael Anthony on the program earlier. I don't know if you were able to tune in for that. We talked a little bit about the independent wrestling scene locally on a whole. Although World of Hurt is branching out, clearly you've planted your roots in the capital area, in upstate New York. People talk about it all the time, and I don't know if we've ever really directly talked about it on our program, although you appeared several times. Is there a rivalry between World of Hurt Wrestling and In Your Face Wrestling? Is it real? Is it imagined? Is it somewhere in between? Does it even matter?
It really doesn't matter, but I'll just, I can only speak for me. I can't speak for what everyone else said. I know that, unfortunately, wrestling, people have beefs. I mean, it's just like everyday life. You meet some guys you like and some you don't.
Right.
I don't have. I just like wrestling. I'm happy that they're doing their thing. I think it's different from ours, and I've read and heard some different things, and people seem to say it's different than ours. I focus on what we're doing and trying to make everything the best that it can possibly be. I don't have any time to be spiteful. I'm not going to say anything negative because I don't have that in me.
Fair enough.
Good for you.
Shane, what's next for you as far as your wrestling career, maybe outside of World of Hurt? Do you see yourself? Will just took a really stiff drink. I'm sorry. He just took a sip, and clearly the rum just punched him in the face. Do you see yourself? You've built some relationships with some of the biggest companies nationally. And globally, and you've done some work with TNA, you've done some work with World Wrestling Entertainment. Do you see yourself making those appearances and continuing to build those relationships, or is it more about keeping things local and keeping World of Hurt growing, or can you do both?
I mean, I want to say I do both. I mean, as you get older, I'm not super old, but I'm only 30, but as you've been doing this a long time, your priorities change on things. Like, I'm always going to chase the pipe dream, and like the thing with WWE, a lot of people will say like, oh yeah, it's, you're just going to be an extra, or like they don't give matches there. Like, well, I got a match, and yeah, it was an extra, but, the money is good, and, anybody would go for free any day that they called.
True.
So, I mean, I don't think my time there is done. I'm always looking to go to the next thing, but my heart is in World of Hurt, of course. It's like that's my baby. I like to see There's nothing like, I'll bring it up again. I had this conversation with Matt Hardy. There's nothing like, he had just done a show at his old high school with Jeff, and it was around the time I did the show in Fort Edward at my old high school.
Yep.
But there's nothing like wrestling in front of your hometown people or wrestling, at high school that you went to high school with. It's pretty neat. So, I do appreciate wrestling for local crowds, and it's so much more personal. Like at WWE, I've been there. You look out and you see a mass of people, and it's really loud and it's really cool. Trust me, but it's like some of the connections, like the emotional connections in your match, it's so much different on the independents. It really is a horse of a different color.
But really, one of the last questions I wanted to ask you.
Gary!
We've been talking all episode because this is the first show we've done, as we said, in a year. It's the first appearance Will has had in months.
Gary!
You take a long weekend and everybody judges you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Will Cena.
Oh boy, that's it. No, I want to talk about the impact that Gary the photographer has had on local wrestling, both in your career and for local promotions.
Oh man, I mean,
Gary!
he's been awesome. He caught years of memories and moments. I mean, I don't know. I can't even say how many times I want to show somebody
Gary,
something or whatnot.
Here.
I'll go straight to his albums or photos or even looking at some of the old ones. It's you can
Gary,
look back
where are
on years
you?
of your life in wrestling. That's where you go to see it. So he means a lot to me. Obviously, he also more getting personal, but he photoed Sadowski's wedding and my sister's. So, personally, I think he's had a big, as far as with wrestling and fans and, connecting the wrestlers to the fans through, now with Facebook, people looking at pictures. That's how they learn about the events, and they look at those photos and say, damn, I want to be there.
Gary!
So, of course, it's, that's important.
Now, let me ask you, we had Pierre VACHON on the show earlier. We talked with Gary. He talked about how Gary, basically, a lot of ways, this was a labor of love for him as well. He did that gig, I should say, for free a lot of times, many times.
Right.
Looking back on that, would you do anything differently, you think?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last thing.
No, looking back on Gary and his impact and his contribution locally, do you think you would have, taken care of him a little bit more?
Of course I think it's always nice to be paid for something that you're good at. I like being paid well for wrestling. It's like I was saying with WWE. Anybody, if you really love it, though, anybody would go any day that somebody asked. And, I would love to, one thing to get even more, personal with, one thing with being the promoter, and I'm sure the guys at In Your Face can even vouch for this. Everybody at every corner, whether you made money or not, to me, it really isn't about the money. I really don't care. I make good money, every day doing the other thing that I do.
Gary, come in here.
So it's really not about the money. Sometimes I'm spending a lot of my own money.
Sure.
Just to make sure the quality is there and the production value. So it's tough being the promoter because everybody from every square is looking to you for money, and you're only one person, you're only one guy,
and you're doing it with passion in mind as well, not all about the money.
Sometimes I feel like the wrestlers should be paid a lot better than they're being paid. I'm a wrestler. I know what it is to do that, and it's tough, especially in New York. It really is. It's with the Athletic Commission.
Yep.
This is really getting into, being a promoter. But I know the In Your Face guys will agree with me. Everybody from every square of the show is looking to you for money for something, and you just one guy just can't do it all. The pockets just aren't deep enough.
Something about the culture of New York State. Everybody's got their hand out, and the taxes are too damn high.
That's right.
Right, for sure. And it's I guess with World of Hurt or anything, I appreciate everything that he's done for years. And like I said, if you don't know, he's a
Gary,
teacher
where
at
are
Lake
you?
Luzerne.
I did know that. Yep.
Excited. We're gonna do. I'm sure we're gonna do something with him there, you know, to let the cat out of the bag. So I'm excited to see him. But like at the same time, you know, like World of Hurt has always been about. We're looking for givers, you know, not takers. I got enough people taking from me, so I'm looking for somebody. I'm looking for somebody that has something to give, and I do.
Hold on, Shane.
Way to show them it's appreciated.
Shane, you're not married yet. You're still left with something. Okay, all right, easy. Oh, Shane, I want to thank you for calling in. I look forward to hearing more details on this Lake Luzerne show because that is a lot. That's closer to home for me than Whitehall, which is exciting. And I'm obviously always excited to hear the World of Hurt getting out there. This is listen, if you're watching this program tonight or on our YouTube page at a later date and you're not familiar with World of Hurt, please do yourself a favor. Do a YouTube search. Some of the matches are out there, and it really is. It's a fantastic experience, and Shane Alden has been obviously a crucial part of that. And Shane, I want to thank you for calling in today.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys. I want to give a quick shout out,
please,
to Alex and Mark and Tim from Ring Rants. They're my buddies, and they're awesome. So check them out on Twitter. It's at Ring Rants. These guys are fresh.
Okay, fair enough. Ring Rant. I'm writing that down. Okay,
Ring Rants.
I'm writing that down. Okay. All right, I like it. Hey, Shane, thanks again for calling in, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, have a great night.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah.
Shane Alden once again providing us with a little bit of insight, not just to World of Hurt and to that promotion and the future and the goings-on a little bit behind the scenes, but also giving us maybe pulling back the curtain and talking to us a little bit about WWE. Very exciting. Will Senna. Holy shit. We are 5 minutes out from FOXX VINYER. We're going to speak with FOXX VINYER.
Gary!
And then...
Gary!
We will speak.
Gary!
We're going to do... Okay, hold on.
Gary, come in here.
We're going to do the gauntlet.
Gary, where are you?
Where are you, Gary? We're hoping to have Gary on the program on one of our next shows. We've talked about him all night, and well-deserved. He's going to kill you for putting that picture up. I feel it.
I don't think so, man. I'm giving him anonymity.
And he's got Wrestlefudge orange. It's almost like he asked for it. In fairness.
Don't wear our colors if you don't want to be out there. We reserve the right to use your image, voice, or carryover from any color, image, or use of our color.
I don't even know if that made sense, but I was listening like, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a 4-minute reprieve. And when we come back on the phone, none other than the man who was once known as the dating site socialite.
No, God!
It's happening.
No, God, please, no!
You can't stop it.
No!
We're doing it.
No!
Yes. When we come back, FOXX VINYER on the show. Do not leave this stream. I'm a little disappointed no one has used the chat room. Listen, if you're watching on WrestlefudgeTV.com, click the name of the show at the top. Go to the YouTube page. Feel free to comment. Okay? We'll be back very soon. We are back on WrestlefudgeTV.com and on YouTube. Will Senna and Paul live in Studio 68. It's been a fun show so far, Will. For me,
it's hard to believe that it was 1 year to the day. Who would have known?
Well, tomorrow would be 1 year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It is crazy.
Almost.
And 260 days since WrestlefudgeTV TV Lite. 260 days in the Mayan calendar, as Michael Anthony explained me.
Jesus Christ, that math was exquisite.
My head is still reeling. We've had a riveting interview with Michael Anthony, very revealing. We've had a fun, very lighthearted, but also very threatening interview with Pierre VACHON.
You are so scared of him.
Dude, why the fucking wouldn't you, baby? We also have... No.
We're boys.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, I heard that. We also spoke just moments ago with Shane Alden, who gave us some insight into both running a promotion and appearing for the world's largest promotion. And we are joined now by a man who has appeared on our program in different capacities, both sitting in live at live remotes when we broadcasted from various facilities and various live events. Hashtag access as on the phone right now is FOXX VINYER. Fox, welcome to the show, sir.
What up?
What is up? Fox, welcome back to WrestlefudgeTV Live. It is an honor for you, of course, to be appearing on our Season 4 premiere.
Of course.
Naturally.
Yeah.
I don't think that needs to be said, but feel free to say it. Fox,
it's an honor.
It is an honor. Let me ask you.
It's an honor.
What are your... tell us what you've been up to.
When's the last time I was on here? October, maybe, when Wrestlefudge was live at World of Hurt, broadcasting with Taven versus Kyle Badger.
Yep, that was the one.
You might have had a show after that, but I'm not sure. I don't know. But yeah, in the past year, I don't know, getting myself in shape, trying to get myself up the ladder, work for Ring of Honor, trying to make my way up,
Yeah, you've definitely been busy. You are the reigning and defending Slam All-Star Wrestling television champion. They have a show coming up tomorrow night, and I believe you're going to be there, correct?
Yeah, tomorrow night, defending the championship. I have no idea against who, but it does not matter who.
It doesn't matter who.
It does not.
Are we wrong to think, Will and I have been talking about it all night, it seems, just visually through your photos and now even speaking to you, it seems as though you have a new attitude. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, a little bit. Depends on what you mean. Sometimes, maybe I'm not as bitter, I would say, because people are finally realizing what FOXX VINYER is. You know what I mean?
I do. You for a while you did seem to have a chip on your shoulder, and I know on our program, I'll make no secret about it. Will and I referred to you at one point as his own worst enemy, FOXX VINYER. That was our moniker for you.
That's probably true.
Now, why do you think that is? Let's have a Dr. Phil moment.
Break it down. Break it down for us.
Let's break it down.
Because we both have theories, and we're looking to get it from the source.
Yeah, why is it that you, at times in your career, maybe not so much now, stood in your own way?
Because there's times where I get into my own head where, I feel like I deserve something more than somebody else who's getting something that's not... say if I'm in the opening match that's 6 minutes long, and some Herb is in a 10-minute awesome match with somebody, I feel like it's... What's the word I'm looking for?
Why am I not the Herb?
Yeah. Why am I not a Herb? If the promoter likes you, you're going to get the spot. If you're friends with the promoter, it's basically what it's usually been around. You know what I mean?
So is it a matter of you just making more friends, or do you think people have finally taken notice of what you bring to a match, into an event?
It's kind of both, because a lot of stuff I've actually talked to people, like a conversation, hey man, this is why you probably don't like me, this is what you've heard, but here's what I can offer you. All right, I'll let you, how about you just do a match and we'll see what we can go for. And then I do a match and you're like, well, we could probably do something.
Oh my.
And then it's all right, let's make each other money. Let's build this company. Let's build this business. Let's fucking, you know what I mean?
I do.
You can swear.
It's
Everything's
okay.
fine. This is a mature program.
Now,
brother, this is real talk.
Now, I'm really curious to hear about your thoughts on the Dynasty. They have a show coming up January 10th at the Troy, New York Boys and Girls Club, a venue that you are no stranger to. You've had a lot of matches there.
Yes. And this brings me to a point. Like, I was listening a few hours ago when I was grabbing dinner, and
what'd you have for dinner?
Today, I had pretzel crust pizza from Little Caesars for $6.
The dinner of a champion. That's what I'm talking about right there.
All right, back to that. You were listening earlier. Sorry.
Eat shitty, lift heavy.
You were listening to the show earlier. We were talking about Dynasty, and
I turned it on right as I caught the end of someone talking about the funeral of 787. Now, I heard some shit last year. You guys were talking about somebody called in saying, like, oh, we are done, we're doing this and that. 787, when me and Coleman were running it, we turned a profit every single show.
So where are you now? The point. I held a funeral. I'll be honest with you. In March of this year,
it's our job.
Listen, it's my job to call it like it is and have an opinion. Okay, we held a very serious, very important, and let me tell you, we had several very esteemed speakers, including Brian Cady, a man who is beyond and above reproach. But we held a funeral because the promotion's inactive, and we talked about a lot of the things the promotion did correctly in our view as fans, and in the view of the people who spoke who gave a eulogy at the funeral,
right?
And right. paid homage to the promotion, the things they did right, and they also called out the things that were wrong. Okay, warts and all.
We've sat there. I mean, me and Rob talk about it sometimes. Like, hey, we could have did this different. We could have did this. But at the same time, we ran successful for 6 months, and then I said, all right, I don't want to keep doing this right now because my career is going this way. And Rob's career, he went a different way. He doesn't really wrestle that much anymore.
True.
So it was our decision to be like, let's fold this for right now. I mean, we can come back any day. The Boys and Girls Club, we can get that building any day.
Yep.
It's a good connection to have.
Yeah, we can go wrestle right now. What?
Oh, impromptu.
Nice. Now, if I can, this has been great. You guys are talking business. I want to talk wrestling. Now, what I've seen in the last 6 months, I'm gonna say very honestly, has been an improvement. We used to break your balls about the boa that you were carrying on with, the glitter that was getting all over us. Out of hand. In trouble, frankly, when we got home, and we were with a bunch of men, not women. Okay, with glitter on.
Right.
Okay, so
and now the thing that you just said, like the glitter getting all over the place, take out all and over and everything, and now the glitter is just getting over. And always now it's kind of a peacocking type of thing. They see the glitter like, oh my God, what the hell is this guy gonna do? Like last time at World of Hurt, threw the glitter up, crowd chanted "Fairy, Fairy," and I beat Shane's ass.
Wow! Listen, so what you're saying is it's a heel tactic. No wonder it pisses people off. Will hates you.
It's annoying, and I love heels. But so here's where I was going with that. In the last time since we've been on the air, at least since I got back in the country, it's been incredible to watch the change. It seems like you're taking things a lot more seriously in the training. You're buffing up. You're getting ready. If I can, the persona is refreshing. You're heading in a direction maybe like Big Papa Pump or something from that era. I applaud it. Thank you. And I can't wait for this character development, and I need a little explanation. So I've given you the kudos. Now explain the lump of hair.
And the face paint.
The face paint's fine.
I mean, the hair, I figured, let me try something, and it was at the Dynasty's first show in Cobleskill last year or whatever. You can watch the tape back because I hear Will say, "What's up with the fucking hair on Vineyard?" And then I said, you know what, I'll just let it go, let it see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to shave it. Went to Ring of Honor tryout, and they were like, hey, that's unique. We like it. Okay, I'll keep it.
Yep.
Let it keep going. Went down and trained with Tommy Dreamer. Hey, I fucking love the way you look. Let me give you some pointers on this. So I kept it. Hey, you should be a little crazier. Let me paint my face because I talk to myself. Let me do this. Let me do that. And slowly but surely, there's not really anything I'm doing that's like, hey, I'm a police officer. I'm a this. I'm a that. I'm just doing me. This is how I am in real life, except for I'm just putting a little bit of smudge of paint on it.
Love it. We applaud it. In Wrestlefudge, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, it sets you apart.
And I mean, a lot of people will help me, and they'll say shit like, hey, man, this is working. Like Michael Anthony. Hey, this is working. You're fucking doing something that's awesome. This is working. This is working. And I used to go to him about everything. Like, hey, man, you think I should do this? You think I should do that? Not a lot of people know that, but he's usually my go-to. Now that he's not wrestling anymore, I got to write him a letter. Like, give me your goddamn... I need your address, by the way.
Michael Anthony, he needs your address. Let me ask you now. You talked. We're talking about a little bit of a new attitude. You're getting out of your own way. You've got some gold again, which is nice to see. Will we see you in more promotions? Like where else where's the FOXX VINYER virus spreading these days?
Well, I have the Dynasty coming up in Troy, which Envy's running it, but I'm really helping him. I go out there. He does this Facebook shit, but it's me who goes on the streets and hits the flyers, hits this, and hits people. I mean, he came with me. We hung up flyers together, and we did shit because I want to see something succeed around here.
Sure.
There's Dynasty. I just got from Sheldon Goldberg, who's a big name in wrestling. He's very interested in giving me an opportunity out in New England Championship Wrestling.
Yep.
They have TV out there.
Yep.
I spoke with Ring of Honor a few times. They said that they are looking for a spot for me that's going to fit me right. So fingers crossed on that. And then hopefully House of Hardcore with Tommy Dreamer. He really likes me and wants to give me an opportunity as well. And I don't know. I'm just going to keep busting my ass,
Yep. You mentioned Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer going to appear at the Dynasty event on January 10th. You also mentioned Michael Anthony, and I want to go back. We had Michael on the show earlier tonight. I don't know if it was before your pretzel-encrusted pizza or after.
During.
Oh, it was during. That's delicious. He talked about the Dynasty, and he talked about their promotion, and he was a little bit critical. I'll be honest. I'm going to throw the motherfucker right under the bus because that's kind of what we do.
You motherfucker.
I mean, everything that is critical about Dynasty, I have already said to the ones who run it.
Well, he specifically spoke to the venue, and maybe the venue being part of the problem, and one of the reasons why he felt, and again, maybe he didn't have the whole story, why 787 wasn't around today, or Ultimate Wrestling is. My question is, what do you think about that venue? Can you guys fill that building? It's a good spot.
787 isn't around because I choose not to have it around.
Wow! With authority.
Fuck off!
And that's the truth. If I want to run, I would just be like, hey, Dynasty, you can't run today because 787's run.
Wow.
But as far as filling the place up, yes, it can be done. The way Dynasty was set up was amazing. Like, it looked really good. It was very intimate, like the lights, the thing. Only thing that sucked balls was the ring was kind of shit, but they're fixing that, and those are just little problems. But the fans that went there, now, the ring was shitty, and that kind of like stopped a little people's wrestling a little bit. But every single person that was there, I sold a bunch of tickets, but they all told me that there wasn't a match that they did not like. So they're all, they will come back and be like, okay, this is something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think makes Dynasty obviously still a very new, it's still in its infant stages. It's still in the pupa. Pupa? Is that
what did you just say?
Like a little cocoon.
That's a ridiculous statement.
But what do you think? The womb. Thank you. In the soft embrace of the uterus is the Dynasty.
Paul's never been there.
Amniotic fluid everywhere. There's cords connecting things.
Face in it.
He wants to put his face in it. I want to dip my balls in it. My question is, I asked this of a lot of people. What makes the Dynasty different from the promotion that I'm seemingly getting more comfortable mentioning? In Your Face Wrestling. I know, it's okay. Or World of Hurt.
The thing that makes pushing FOXX VINYER makes it different. That's the thing.
We love honesty on the Fudge.
Oh my God. Okay,
fantastic answer.
But I mean, they're bringing in a lot of good guys, from New England. The only thing is, I hope that it doesn't happen is the same people that are wrestling. You've been to Connecticut, the same people on every show.
Yep.
I just hope that they don't feed over here. Not that they're bad guys or anything like that, but if you want to make a new market, you just can't have the same people that everyone has.
I've been agreeing with you all night except for there. There's a lot of exports that could come out of New England that I'm interested in seeing. Frankie Arian.
Yeah.
Killer Steve's right there. He's wearing the shirts.
Well, Steve Cruz is retired.
Come on, I understand that, but still.
McKenzie, let's get Steve McKenzie.
Dave Cole. I know Nocturne can still wrestle other places. There's good exports.
Oh yeah, there definitely is.
Let's be careful.
I'm saying the normal guys that you think, who's in New England? There's like a handful of guys. Like think of Chaotic. Those are the guys I think we take New England. But there's a handful of guys who are trying to make it, and Dynasty's giving them that little hey, come here.
Fair enough. Now, what do you expect? Man, how do I phrase this? Where do you see FOXX VINYER in 15 minutes?
In 15 minutes, hopefully having sex with my girlfriend.
Oh, well. Well, I hope you got a 20. Now, let me ask. Where do you see FOXX VINYER in 2 years?
Hopefully signed contract. My goal right now is to get in the ring of like if I want to do a WWE tryout, I just got to get myself in more shape. That's the plan. That's what I've been doing. So, I mean, I think I have a unique character enough to be like, hey, we can give this guy maybe a squash match, you know?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. One of the things that I appreciated most about FOXX VINYER, the FOXX VINYER of old, was there was a period of time, I want to say it was, you were preparing for a battle royal, and you were filming a series of vignettes, which were extremely unique and inspired. Have you, and I'll be honest with you, maybe I haven't been paying enough attention, I haven't been on the VINYER train, but are you still at that game?
I assume you haven't. Well, you haven't watched it. I made a video about a month and a half ago when it was me versus Shane Alden for the first match.
Okay. I didn't see it.
FOXX VINYER. You can look it up on YouTube. Say FOXX VINYER challenges Shane.
Okay.
It's me dressed as Shane Alden, dressed as Eric Alden with a little green screen editing of myself, and just being stupid and being awesome because that's what we do. And then, but my point is, like, there's things like, hey, I'm going to waste my time and make all this thing to make it interesting, but then I hand it to a promoter, and they're like, well, we actually have this idea for you. And I said, oh, well, I think this will work a little bit better. People don't care. You know what I mean? I did the Battle Royal thing, and the first thing I said to those guys, hey, guys, I even wrote a rap song that's in the thing. Can I come out to that in the Battle Royal? People seem to be caring. No, you know, we're not going to do that. And then I haven't worked there since. But that was old FOXX VINYER just trying to, hey man, I have an idea. Let's try to get people interested in coming. But hey, don't care about anything. So yeah,
I was just curious. I'm encouraged to hear that you're still at the promo game when you think it's important.
Once I get something, like when it was against Shane Alden for the past 2 shows at Roll to Hurt, I made the promo. He never responded. Shane, don't be a pussy.
Whoa!
Now
with that, he didn't respond back, and that's why I defeated him. And then he brought in Screech, and that's why he defeated me and Chuck Deep. But we need a rubber match, so I hope there's something we're going to do with that.
Well, with that new haircut and everything that's going on up there, what is it like in the Arctic blast? Like, what's going on? How bad is it?
In the cold?
Well, luckily for me, I wear a hat, but it's nipply.
Oh, you're a fucking genius. Whoa! You're a fucking genius. FOXX VINYER, any messages for any promoters or any specific wrestlers out there, or for Will Senna? Maybe you want to welcome him back after a year's absence. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, welcome back, Will Senna.
Hey! All right, great.
You piece of shit, I'm throwing glitter all over you.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm excited for World of Hurt because, I mean, they're like, they've been giving me a chance. Like, hey, they like the new thing I'm doing. They gave me an opportunity, and we've been running with it, and I've had good matches there, and they're doing some good shit, and I want to see them succeed. I want to see Dynasty. Anything with me in it, I want to see succeed around here because, hey, why the hell would I want to fail?
Wow. Will, anything else for FOXX? I think he said it all.
He said a mouthful.
Listen, FOXX, before we unceremoniously remove you from our airwaves, have you, listen, all show long, we've been catching up with what's been keeping Will Senna busy. We've been playing a little game called Where in the World Was Will Senna? So let me ask you, where do you think Will's going to turn up next? Play the game.
Will Senna currently is training for his first wrestling match.
Wow, that is a far-fetched
Well, we
one.
did see him training with Mike Tyson to appear in a video game, so you might not be that far off. FOXX VINYER, I want to thank you for the call. Once again, we've had a lot of fun, and we look forward to
Keep
seeing...
your eyes out for videos, man. I will make them when I get invested into what I'm doing. But as for anyone in St. Albans, Vermont tomorrow, come watch FOXX VINYER defend the Slam All-Star Wrestling Television Championship.
Wow.
And I defended the championship at Dynasty. That's because I'm a traveling champion.
Wow.
And a fighting champion. FOXX VINYER, thank
Still
you.
not on TV.
Yeah, I know, right? And the only television championship that I'm aware of not defended on television. Ladies and gentlemen, Fox, you can change that, buddy. I want to thank you for calling in, Fox. Thank you for once again appearing on
FOXX VINYER.
At FOXX VINYER. Thank you. Thanks.
Everywhere.
Have a good night.
X's.
Please. Thank you, Fox. Have a good night, buddy.
Peace.
Oh my God! Who the hell?
FOXX VINYER. Listen. I appreciate FOXX VINYER and all of his phone calls. Well, I know you don't, but I always enjoy him appearing on the show. What did we learn there, Will? We learned it's all about FOXX VINYER. He says he has a new attitude, but then again he starts putting himself over. What do you think? What do you think's going on?
I mean, I'm still conflicted. We'll see it.
I feel like you were here with him.
It happens.
I feel like you were
came
here.
down a little.
You were. Where am I? I feel like you were here with him, and now you're like right here. Is that accurate? Let's see it.
Probably accurate.
Yeah, here. Oh, match me. Yeah, no, match me.
there.
Yeah, no, there you go. You were here, now you're here. Oh shit, you dropped. Oh man,
Stock's falling.
just like the barometer outside.
I don't know. It's a refreshing character. It's original. I like the opportunities
He's got a new look. I'm curious to see. I got to watch this video, Will, to see if it's a persona.
He's a little more
changed.
humble.
A little more humble.
A little more humble. That's all.
This is coming from Will fucking Senna. I want you to think about that, guys. I want you to think about what's...
I'm not trying to break in anywhere.
Oh, my God. Will,
this chair's broken in. I'm not going anywhere.
Will, I'm going to make a wild suggestion, the likes of which has never been made before in the history of our sport. All right?
Let me give you a full camera shot.
It's time to run the gauntlet. An in-depth, hard-hitting, semi-informed look at the independent wrestling events coming within a 3-hour drive of your town. So hold on to your hats, buckle up, and insert additional preparedness cliche right here. Are you goons ready?
Yeah!
Because we are running the gauntlet.
Hey! We are back running the gauntlet. Will Senna. It's been a fun show, but now it's time to get to
serious.
Let's finally get serious. We've been broadcasting for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
I'm exhausted.
It's been a long day, but what a way to bring and reintroduce and rediscover Wrestlefudge TV Live than to do another 3-hour marathon show.
Wow. And you're lucky we don't have any predictions to do, or it'd be a 3.5-hour show.
Yeah, that's right. We have a handful of events on the gauntlet today. We know. We've talked and made reference to it a couple times tonight. Slam All-Star Wrestling Wrestle Feast tomorrow night, 7 p.m.
Check this out, people, please.
You really should. Will and I, it was one of the first shows we went to as a tandem. We made
our first remote was done after a Saw show.
That's true. In a hotel room.
We're talking a lot of history.
Yeah.
All this bullshit about me being gone for a year. It was a long weekend. Let's get stuff.
A year-long weekend.
Real history is what went on at Saw at our first remote.
It's very true. We did. We had our first. We filmed a Wrestlefudge blogcast in our hotel room with 3 in-studio guests. The Rickety Rocket, who was fucking riveting.
Amazing.
We had CJ Scott.
I think one of Fudge's
CJ Scott, who I think stole a pair of my underwear, and also Franz Roddy, and I believe Damon Ravitch. Was Damon there also?
Or
yes.
Suicide or something.
Yeah, Cyanide.
Cyanide.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Cyanide.
I may have kayfabe. So yes, tomorrow night, St. Albans City Hall. They're taking it right to City Hall, folks. Lance Madewell will be taking on Drake Evans in a grudge match. Of course, Evans helped to train Lance Madewell, and Drake looking for a measure of revenge. A little bit of history there. should be a heated match. I'm a big fan of Lance Madewell. Heavyweight champ Ricky Williams is going to be appearing to discuss his future after suffering a knee injury at their Trick or Treat Turmoil event.
He's going to talk?
He's going to speak.
He's going to speak, not wrestle.
Flying squirrel.
I think that's a mistake.
Well, he's hurt. He has his ACL is hurt. That's why he's going to speak.
Where's Mr. Man? Somebody's got to be available to render that letter.
So deliver that message. Well, Will, you're joking, but this is pretty serious. He has a history of ACL injuries. Will he vacate the belt is basically the story to watch here. The belt was just recently vacated a few months ago.
The ACL in the jaw?
No, I don't think so. Chin ligament? A cruciate chin ligament. So that's a big story to watch there. Franz Roddy versus the Northern Stud. A lot of history there. These guys have battled each other and teamed up in various promotions. It's coming to a head. And Saw is teasing that fans should expect a truly violent affair in that matchup.
Kids are $5.
Wow, that's a great point.
What the hell?
That's a great point.
No kids should be watching this broadcast. But
yeah, hopefully.
If they are, kids, tell your parents it's only $5.
CJ Scott, you're good, buddy. Going to be appearing on the show.
Who?
You know who. Come on.
Guess who?
The Rickety Rocket also appearing on the show. Rickety Rocket going to be appearing on the show. We heard TV champ FOXX VINYER and many more. Tomorrow night in Northern Vermont, 7 p.m.
Fiona.
Yeah, Fiona Darling.
Whoa, that's enough for $5 again.
All right. Next on the docket, it's Revival Pro Wrestling. Saturday, November 29th, 7 p.m. in Enfield, Connecticut. When opportunity knocks. Revival Pro. Well, it's been a while. It's been a year. Okay.
Jesus.
You recall? I gotta throw it in your face. Listen, they throw racism in my face. Unfounded claims.
I didn't.
Formerly, I listen. These guys are the spiritual successor to NEFW, and Eric Newton, friend of the Fudge in the past, started this promotion. We got to have him on the show. I really want to talk about what germinated the seed from this promotion, because I think there was a little bit of controversy there. Anyhow, on this show, they've been running a lot of shows. They're gaining kind of carrying over a lot of the following that NEFW had. New England Frontier Wrestling, very successful in Connecticut, and Revival Pro kind of carrying that torch. Expect a 25-man battle royal. Justin Credible in action.
Is he?
He is. He's cleaned things up. He's cleaned things up.
All right.
Very exciting. He's on the straight and narrow. And how about Paragon League Wrestling, Will? You want to hear about these guys.
I wanted to make sure you weren't going to skip over this one. I need you to explain this. I understand it's a former friend of the Fudge. I need to...
Mikey Chase, the man behind Paragon League Wrestling, which is presenting Paragon 3, their third show, December 22nd, which is a Saturday night. Listen, 7 p.m. bell time, kids. I'm going to tell you, no match is announced yet, as far as I know. But think about their first two shows. There's a lot of buzz around this promotion. It's a very unique, stat-based, independent wrestling project that's turned a lot of heads with their innovation, their action in the ring. Can they deliver a third solid showing? It's basically it's statistic-based. They get points for an attempted pinfall. They lose a point. So it's it's an interesting system.
Where do I get action in this league? Where's the money?
Oh shit! Will smells
talking
green.
Fantasy? What's going on here? I gotta get in there.
That's a great idea. That they should. Maybe they are. I don't know. I gotta look more into
I'll
this.
run the pool. Get Mike you in contact with me.
Wow.
Hey,
this is fantastic.
Oh no!
I'll establish the odds and
wow,
take 10%. Everything's fine.
He's already making a deal. Oh Jesus. We've talked a lot about it. We do know early January, World of Hurt Wrestling going to be having a show. We just heard tonight with a WrestleFudge exclusive, running a show in Lake Luzerne potentially, as well as eventually in 2015 branching out to Massachusetts, returning to Massachusetts again and to Vermont. So more on that as news continues to take shape. But Shane Alden announcing earlier on our program, look for World of Hurt, their first show in 2015, taking place in Lake Luzerne. We talked a lot about this program, this promotion tonight. A lot of buzz around them, and I hope their fans are watching tonight. And I want to get some more conversation started about Dynasty on our Facebook page and on Twitter, where you can reach me at Wrestlefudge. You can reach Will at the real Will Senna.
Almost going to be verified very soon.
Is that true?
That is true. Yeah.
This is the president's making this happen? What's the deal?
I mean, when you have connections, you have connections. But enough about me. I mean, let's get back into Dynasty. Come on.
Boring. You're boring,
Okay. Dynasty Chapter 1. January 10th, Troy, New York, the Boys and Girls Club will come alive. Tommy Dreamer in action. Women's Wrestling, Will Senna.
Hey-oh!
They've announced that Davian, is that the proper pronunciation? Do we know?
I'm going to butcher it and say it's a horrible name for marketing. Let's do something like the Purple Lotus or the Purple Dragon.
Wow. Or the Purple Peach.
She's got the purple. I didn't come up with the purple. You're looking at me like I came up with the purple. It's awkward.
Well, she matches the Dynasty theme.
Okay, well, how
The
about
Royal
the Purple Man-Eater? Or something along
That's
those
what you see. Davian going to be in action. Also, Alexis Nevaeh. Will, you've become a huge fan.
Little piece of heaven.
Heaven spelled backwards is Nevaeh. Oh, Jesus. That's the money. That was
Are you kidding me?
No, that's true.
No freaking way.
Hold on. I'm going to spell it out.
Do the math.
Hold on. I'm going to spell it out backwards. Okay, so here's an H. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put an E. Now, I got to go right to left. That's the challenge. Okay? So, hold on. All right, so I started from the right. H, then an E, working my way left, A. So, this is what I have so far.
Which way is left? Oh. Okay. All right. Yep.
H-E-A-V.
And next.
And I got to remember, though, to keep it going to the left, which is different. H-E-A-V, and then it's E. And then there's an N.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And there it is, right there. Cause it
says never. Never here.
It's Nevaeh. It's Alexis Nevaeh. She will be in action. Women's Wrestling.
All you did was spell it normal.
No, I spelled heaven backwards.
But then in the camera, it doesn't.
No, it does. Will, have another drink. Don't confuse me. I had to look again. You son of a bitch. MPG returning. Chuck Deep and Too Rad Kyle fucking Brad. Come on. What are we talking about?
I clap.
Chuck Deep and Too Rad Kyle Brad issuing an open challenge. Will, I want to talk about.
That's dangerous.
For who?
Talk to Chuck.
Listen.
He needs to.
Will, here's the question. Who do you want to see accept that challenge? Personally, Northern Fury.
Did you just ask me a question that you answered? What the hell was that? No.
I plead the fifth.
Go ahead.
Northern Fury would be a very interesting match there. I like it. Is it people that are...
Anybody! Anyone!
I think I'd like to see them start a huge rivalry with the Beast and Franz Roddy.
Beast is... Wait, you
Come on, you said anyone! You just said anyone! Oh.
You can't touch this.
You said anyone.
I did, but let's be... I know, you're right. I'm the asshole. Good for you. Jesus.
You gotta lay out choices.
Oh, good.
I used my imagination.
You did. I actually saw your brain at work. It was very awkward. What area teams do you think we should do? More matches to come. Look these guys up on Facebook, and there's a link there for ticket info. I'm really interested in this show, and this is a show that I am committed to attending.
All right, Randy Walker, the redneck Randy Walker. That's what I want in there. Get him in there.
With
Brandy, of course. She can hold her own. She wheels him down to the damn car. Let's give her a chance.
Well, listen, she's competed in World of Hurt Wrestling before.
Thank you.
That's big. Hold on. I misspoke.
Oh, again.
So guys, that's the gauntlet. There it is. Wow, Will, we've talked a lot tonight. We've talked a lot tonight about a lot of different things.
Gary! Gary!
Oh,
man.
Gary!
Looking forward to have Gary on the show.
Gary!
That's super.
Gary, come in here. Gary, where are you?
You gotta see the picture. You gotta, bro. I will.
God, I love Richard Simmons and Gary. Our good friend.
Oh, wait. Oh, hold on.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Gary! 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 Gary, come in here. Gary, where are you?
Oh, it hurts.
Believe it or not, people, this is a tribute to our good friend Gary.
It is. It is.
And he will. We know he's laughing with us.
I hope so.
Wow. Oh.
Well, what did we learn tonight? Let's bring things back into a little bit of perspective.
Okay.
And it's gone.
All right. FOXX VINYER has a new haircut. Rededicating himself, it seems, to the gym and his character.
And a beard.
Michael Anthony is not done yet.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's big
often
news.
we do predictions here, and I'm way more right on way more times than you. Here's another prediction. Here's a freebie. Michael Anthony's not done in wrestling.
He's not like. Well, he said he was going to potentially start.
Oh, so I'm right already. Thank you. That's why I'm always right. Shane Alden, big things. Change in store at World of Hurt.
Exciting change. Sad on one hand, but also pretty exciting for the fans.
Almost a new beginning, a dawning. Fresh characters, I think there was.
FOXX VINYER on his way up there. Will be might be a guy to watch.
Still veterans. Vince Beach hanging around.
Jeff Starr leading the way.
If he could somehow eat a cake in the face,
Franz Roddy.
ratings.
Franz Roddy, still the United States champion in World of Hurt.
Thank you. Always entertaining. Will be on the show in season 4.
Absolutely. We learned that Pierre VACHON hates me still. Nothing has changed in that area.
A something 3 shoulder injury, class 3. I don't remember what he said.
Shoulder separation.
I am a horrible person at medical.
Shoulder.
Yes. 6 inches below where it's supposed to be. Let's wish the man some luck in his rehab, the surgery, which is never a fun thing to do.
I just want to say,
and in comedy,
we have a couple. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about your year off. We still have a couple minutes left in the program, Will.
You really want more of these?
I think let's go off on a high note. I've been told that it is an interesting. People are enjoying it. So we saw this a little bit earlier.
So this was the night, Justin was arrested for firecrackers and everything.
Right.
Toilet paper in his house. Well, some of that may have been my fault. I may have been there.
Are you to blame for that arm sleeve tattoo?
I'm to blame for that haircut he has. I shaved his hair off when he was sleeping one night. It was awesome. All right. But he was a douchebag. Yeah.
So where did you go after this? Because clearly you had to get the hell out.
I had to. It was too much city. It was just way too much. I needed to get back out. So I went out.
Expedition?
Real Indians and shit.
Sacagawea?
Yeah.
Is that Sacagawea?
That's
easy for me to say.
I knocked off Lois, and
wow,
it was my turn on the trail. I'm leading the way.
Wow, looks like she's leading the way, and I would follow her wherever she led me. I got to be honest with you.
I got to say that it was a real strong odor.
Really, a musk?
Oh, musky though. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. The leather and all. Look at the fur on it.
Yeah, the hides.
Holds it in.
Yeah.
Keeps the sweat in there like an animal.
Oh boy. So how long were you out there with them?
A week or two.
Okay. Okay. But you made it out of there.
Well, and then I had to go to some therapy because, again, remember I mentioned that, I have a relationship with the, 4 former presidents.
Okay.
And it was tough. It all had to do with this photo that I don't show a lot of people, but
because you're humility, because you're humble.
Absolutely. And because I had a tan that people envy here. Well, the only reason my head's not tan is because I had a helmet on. I mean,
just your hand is very tan.
There's a lot of international things I had to do to make up for.
Hold on a second.
For that, did
we already show that one?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
That's the leather coat that I still have.
Right. Okay. All right.
It was an interesting trip, I gotta say. Everyone wants to break my balls. It was just a long weekend.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, I'm glad to have you back, man.
It's a long weekend.
I think anyone watching now would attest that I was pretty beside myself. I'm man enough to admit it. I was beside myself. It's over. I'm just glad it's over. It's been a great show, Will. 3 hours of nonsense. 4 guests. We've talked to some of the local bests. We've got insight from the greats. We've listened to people talk about and pay tribute to Gary. And hope to have Gary Braham?
Gary.
Fuck.
Braham.
Gary, come in here.
Braham. Gary Braham.
No, I think that's wrong.
No.
Well, it's totally wrong.
It's not.
Yeah, shit. We're douchebags.
No, you are.
No, you said his name wrong a bunch of times, too.
No. Pull the tapes. Pull.
I
you
will.
do that. 140 old episodes on YouTube. People, go check it out.
I don't even know if that's true.
I'm giving everybody the shot of the week right here. Here you go. You're welcome.
Wow. Well, I want to thank you once again for finding your way home. I know it wasn't always
too long.
easy.
I apologize. Man's got to work sometimes.
Well, listen, I'm just glad you made it back. I want to thank our guests, Michael Anthony, Pierre the Beast VACHON, Shane Alden, FOXX VINYER. Well, what kind of guests do you think we can expect? You've been doing a lot of the footwork behind the scenes.
I can't. We don't. What is the
to make up for your fucking time away?
What is the dates? What's the date for the next show? Is it
Well, we're certainly not doing a show next week, holiday week. Let's be
Happy Thanksgiving. Let me be the first. I miss you.
And yours. And yours.
No, just you.
Oh. Happy Thanksgiving, yeah. So no show holiday week.
Okay.
More to come. More to come. I think we're going to have a lot of buzz.
There's a lot going on. So,
right.
That being said, to get back to your question, we have in the future, in our lap, I know Bobby Ocean's coming.
Wow. Soon.
It's always a pleasure.
We do. We got to get some of the Massachusetts, Connecticut guys back on here.
We have some things lined up with some promoters.
I want to get Mikey Chase on.
Just say,
got to talk about Paragon.
I haven't talked to him, but that's a great idea. On Facebook, drop us whoever you want us to talk to. I swear we'll reach out to them. We can't say they're going to answer.
Listen, we're a couple of assholes.
Let's be completely honest.
Ron's Roddy, potentially.
I haven't talked to him.
Oh, okay.
I haven't talked to him yet.
He'll come on. What else is he doing? I think,
We already booked Pierre VACHON in studio or at a live event. That's going to be right there.
2015?
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Making him feel uncomfortable. I don't want to tease. I don't want to let too much out of the bag.
I like it. I like what I'm hearing so far, and so should you.
Bobby Ocean is enough of a tease.
That's true. If there's anyone, like he said, you want to see, hit us up on Twitter. Someone told me Micro Cole would be a great guest.
That's a fantastic. I don't even know if we could get a guest like
listen,
that.
He's very small. He can fit in here at Micro Cole. Check him out. Thank you for watching Wrestlefudge TV live. We'll miss you. We won't forget you. And salut.